Tonga, and the lock forward in jumper number 15 is Saxon Pryke after making his debut in round 7. This is his starting debut, the Rouse Hill Junior. And on the bench, Dylan Walker, Tiankan Brown, Josiah Funa Ayuta, a former SG Ball captain, and Harold Matthews, Parramatta through and through, alongside Tony Mataele, Sean Russell and Kilma Tuilangi in 20. The referee is Todd Smith, Phil Henderson and Dylan Wells are the touch judges. Dylan in just his second NRL game, and Todd Smith is getting us underway with the North Queensland Cowboys kicking from right to left, and Brian Kelly for Parramatta with first use of the ball has gone over the halfway line. He could run the length. He's brought to ground 30 metres away from the Cowboys line. What about that for a kick return to start this game at Western Sydney Stadium? Parramatta 20 metres away from the Cowboys line, and North Queensland give away a penalty that's taken quickly by Reid Marnie. Taps brought down 5 away from the line. Out of dummy half, Saxon Pryke, his first touch starting as a Parramatta Eel, a metre away from the line. One off the ruck, left-hand side. How don't they go over there? They might get 6 again. Williams gets up and plays the ball. They do. They spin it left, and can you believe it? They'll get the penalty because there was no advantage there, but the ball from Upper Twiddle to Josh Adokar goes over the touchline. They come back for the penalty that was originally 6 again, but Dean Hallertau, this is incredible from Brian Kelly from the start of the game.
I'm still in a state of shock, Estee. What about that return, as you said, from Brian Kelly? Thought he was going to go the length. He bumps away from one after breaking the initial line, which was almost a huge gap for him to run through untouched, and now they're attacking the Cowboys line straight away.
Yeah, they take the tap and they have the ball through Kitioni Tonga, 9 away from the line, 20 in from the eastern touchline. No score after a minute. Right to Pryke, gets it away to the wonderful haircut of Junior Parlour, and he's 5 metres away from the Cowboys line at the southern end. Plays the ball, Marnie left out of dummy half. Moses gets it away to Volkman. Ball over the top, touched by the Cowboys, into the hands of Josh Adokar. They'll get another set here, and on play 0, they're 7 metres away from North Queensland's line. Can you believe it? The Cowboys preparing to play finals footy. Parramatta are gone, and at the moment it's been all the Eels. The Cowboys haven't touched the ball through 2 minutes. Another repeat set for Parramatta. Volkman plays it. 9 away from the line. One off the ruck goes Pryke, and he's held up in the tackle, then put to ground 3 away from the line. Slow to get up and play the ball to Silver dummy half. Right-hand side, Moses, and it's put down on the right-hand side by Will Benson. So the Cowboys do get a let-off here. They'll get first touch of the ball via a scrum feed, 15 away from their own goal line. We've had no score in 2.5 minutes of play, Dino.
Yeah, well, this is going to be interesting for the Cowboys. Their heart rates would be racing. Obviously, they've had to retreat all the way back to their own line in only a series of a few tackles, and then they're just quickly on the hook for trying to shut down Parramatta. It was a timely mistake in terms of what the Cowboys can now do is restart the game and try and get out of their own end with just a nice controlled set, I should say.
Touchline, Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, well, what we've seen from both of the North Queensland wingers is they're both wedging in, so Burns and Tuilangi, they need to be careful when you've got Mitch Moses as your opposing halfback.
Well, they are going towards Braden Burns' wing at the moment. The Cowboys have the ball 27 metres away from the line, getting up and playing the ball, coming back left-hand side now, and they're about 31 metres away from their own goal line as Chester gets up and plays the ball. They come back left through the centre of the park now, 11 short of the halfway line. 3 Parramatta players muscling up there to stop Taulagi, about 10 away from the goal line, for the halfway line. Here's Jason Taumalolo, 2 short of halfway. Final play for the Cowboys, their first set of this game, and Clifford will kick, but it's charged down. Is it played at? It's not played at. It's still the last. So it cannoned into the back of the Parramatta player. Another charge down here. That wasn't played at either. Still they go on. That kick from Drinkwater. And now finally they'll kick through Labour down the left-hand side towards Josh Adokar, who comes across and picks the ball up 5 away from his own goal line. He's brought to ground 11 away, 11 in from the western touchline. Moses scooting out of dummy half now. He's over the 20 to the 30-metre line. What a weird start to a game of football we've got at Western Sydney Stadium. Now Parramatta get a set of 6 because hanging on too long in the tackle was Kai O'Donnell. They go left. Finally, Upper Twiddle is taken 11 short of the halfway line, 20 in from the western touchline. De Silva goes left for Volkman. On it goes for Williams. Jack Williams is 5 short of halfway, centre field. No No score after 4.5 in some of the craziest footy we've ever seen to start a game, certainly this season. De Silva dummies, then runs into traffic, takes it 10 away, and now he gets a penalty on play 2. Hanging on there, the Cowboys, sorry Dino, the Parramatta Eels get the penalty 10 inside Cowboys territory.
Yeah, I think Kitzioni was taken off the ball in the prior run, so I'm not too sure who the North Queensland player was that came out of the line, but Kaltonga got taken off the ball, and that's what the referee's given the penalty for.
Yeah, I think
it's Chester.
Chester, touchline Matthew Elliott.
I don't know what was left open in the North Queensland Cowboys dressing room before the game, but they're just not here. They're all just off. Like that last set, the end of that last set, just sums up what we've seen in this opening minutes. Just the bizarrest footy ever, as you said.
0467 920 222. David Nowra says Cowboys to win. They're defending their own line here at the moment. Parramatta 25 away. They go right-hand side and they have the ball through Jack Williams about 23 away from the line. Getting up and playing it. Coming back left is De Silva. Gets it away to Moses. On it goes to Volkman. Good hands. Almost finding a way through on the left-hand side is Kautonga. He takes the tackle 12 away from the line. They come back right now. Trike passes to nobody. Moses will have to try to go back and get it. He is able to do so. He has to fall on the ball. They lose a lot of momentum there, and he gets up and plays the ball for De Silva 21 away from the line. Twiddle, quick hands, right-hand side. Jack Williams is taken 15 away from the line. Scooting out a dummy half short is De Silva. Gets it to Moses. Kicks almost over his head back into the middle. And Jason Taumalolo's there like a fullback, taking it a metre away from the goal line for North Queensland. No score after 6.5 minutes.
Would love to get a reading on the vertical leap there of Jason Taumalolo. He got the arm outstretched. He hopped off one leg and got his team out of trouble with a really nice catch. But once again, the Cowboys trying to get themselves settled, get back into some sort of rhythm, or try and find their first rhythm for the game.
It was around the 4 centimetre mark. He got off the ground there, Taumalolo. They play the ball 18 away from their line. It almost goes past Jackson Purdue at dummy half, but he goes back behind himself and picks it up and then takes the run up towards the 30. They come left. They'll have to kick from deep in their own territory through Drinkwater. It bounces just inside Parramatta's 40-metre line and then bounces really nicely, in fact, to Josh Adokar, because it was a weird bounce. It was going to go left, and then Adokar was in the right place at the right time to take it 10 short of halfway. Now coming away from their own end through Jordan Samrani. He takes the tackle 8 away from the halfway line. 17 in from the eastern touchline. Up at Twiddle now is 4 inside his own territory. ABC Sports NRL Saturday. Good to have your company as Brian Kelly almost finds his way towards the halfway line. In fact, he does. 22 in from the western touchline. No score. Just a bit of a bobble there, but he holds onto it as he plays the ball. Oh, what a hit. Jason Taumalolo on Mitchell Moses. Taumalolo, the big smile on his face as he comes over the top. The gentle giant, but he absolutely whacked Mitchell Moses there. Last play, Volkman puts the high kick up in the air. Taken by Drinkwater, 15 away from his own line. Matthew Elliott, you must have felt that from there.
I just got out from underneath my chair because I heard it and felt it as well. Mitch Moses hasn't been running the ball much lately, and I think that might be a little bit of an incentive for him to remain that way.
That was about 5 metres away from you. You would have felt the ripples like an earthquake. 27 away from the line, centre field. The Cowboys have it through Braden Birds. One off the ruck, right-hand side they go. Ruben Cotter is 33 away from his own goal line as they try to come away from their own end through Taumalolo. The wrecking ball. He does it in defence and he does it in attack. He's 10 short of halfway. Play the ball and they come right out of dummy half. Deep kick downfield, and it's taken on the full by Upper Twiddle, and he goes back over the 20-metre line. He has it 30 away from his own goal line and 20 in from the eastern touchline. Silver out of dummy half to Samrani. Samrani is brought to ground 32 away from his line in centre field as he gets up and plays after the tackle of Marnie. They come to the right. Moses changes direction for Kelly. Brian Kelly is 12 short of halfway centre field. 9 minutes gone in this one. Still no score, and Jack Williams is met in a strong tackle there. Marnie was involved, but it's Kai O'Donnell who did more of the damage. And now left-hand side, Bright gets a short ball, but it's a flat. It's too flat. It's forward. The pass to Luca Moretti. He did well there, Saxon Pryke, to get the quick pass away, but he just didn't get the angle right at first receiver. And, their hands are pointing backwards, but it probably does float forward in the end. 10 gone, no score, Parramatta and the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a welcome change of possession here for the North Queensland Cowboys. I thought it was really tight. Love to see middle forwards exchanging passes, especially with the outside runner hitting such a hard line into contact. Gives a real opportunity off the next play to come up with some constructive football. But the Cowboys here will probably get their best field position of the game so far.
So Clifford feeds it. They go to the right-hand side and they have the ball through Chester, about a metre inside Parramatta territory. This is, I think, the first time they've been inside Parramatta's half so far. 10 into this game. Ruben Cotter goes on a strong run over the 40-metre line, so he's 10 inside the Eels half as they play the ball for Marnie. They come right now. Purdue changes direction, back on the inside, and then the North Queensland Cowboys 27 metres away. Get another metre or two there was Braden Burns, and the referee let him get away with it as well. So he plays the ball, and then Tamalolo from the next play is 16 away from Parramatta's line. Marnie shapes left, but goes right. Purdue's there to the line, and then 8 metres away. Oh, they'll get 6 again here as Hilamuki gets up and plays the ball. Left-hand side, scoots Marnie and close to the line. Do they get there? No. The Cowboys are just short. Braden Burns plays the ball and then going burrowing underneath. Marnie will get a try. Reed Marnie, he was like a beaver in a dam there. He just got underneath all of the timber and found his way through. He's only small, the former Parramatta Eel, has a try against his former club, and they lead 4 points to 0 after 11 minutes.
Yeah, well done to Reed Marnie to use that strength, as you said, to burrow underneath. But the Cowboys, first possession down this end of the field, which we spoke about, I think it's actually Scott Drinkwater as the carry and plays the ball there. He actually does a good job to sort of get to clear the area to get through, because you can't let your dummy half burrow underneath your legs or it's going to be a penalty. And he plays the ball and steps through. There's not much of a play the ball, to be honest, but yeah, just be interesting to see if the ball gets to the line. It's hard to see from this far away.
Yeah, it was Drinkwater. He does really well, does he? That's a try. The ball's on the line, and Reed Marnie is making his former club pay. That's 2 tries in 2 games. Touchline, Matthew Elliott.
Well, I've worked it out, Glenn and Shop, what went on there, that they spoke Matt Elliott French to each other in the first 10 minutes, because that was the first set like they even had any connection and communication with each other, when we saw how effective they could be.
Drinkwater, 21 in from the eastern touchline. Makes no mistake, so the Cowboys leading 6 points to 0. I assume Matt Elliott French is not quite as good as Trent Robinson French.
Yeah, I'm on the podium next to him. You obviously haven't heard the interviews.
Listening in from the Gold Coast, hoping we get a test match out of this game. We're getting text messages for the cricket, aren't we, of course, which is 4 for 145 Australia. Cameron Green has 36 and Alex Terry 11, still trailing by 82 runs. I'll just try to find some text messages. Rugby League CEO quits, no real signs. Leilua doesn't count. Riles, yeah, good year for the Eels. Thank you for that one. Tim Sidley, shout out to Dawson Mine Green crew, Papa Fletch, Charlie Blackmore, and Hornswoggle McConnell. Keep up the good work. Curry still to play the entrance tomorrow. The winner playing South Newcastle. That's in the Newcastle Rugby League. Thank you for that text message as well. Here at Western Sydney Stadium, it's the Cowboys leading 6 points to 0, and Tamalolo on the charge again. Over the 30, over the 40, he's 4 metres away from halfway. What a carry by Jason Tamalolo. Marnie, the try scorer, goes from dummy half, and he runs into traffic 6 metres inside Parramatta territory. Play 4. They lead 6 points to 0. Right-hand side, one off the ruck. Purdue goes on a run himself, and on the last, they're 35 away from Parramatta's line. So they come left, and Drinkwater drops it as cold as you like. He was trying to catch and pass at the same time, just rushing through that, Scott Drinkwater, and Parramatta get the change over 35 away from their own goal line, trailing 6 points to 0 after 13.
Yes, maybe a bit too casual there, Scott Drinkwater. He's looking at the play of the ball, then he looks up at the defence, and he just throws the hands down to try and pick up the ball. And it's a fairly decent, or a basic error from him to give Parramatta a good possession again once again.
Thank you to Matt in Penrith. Thanks, Dion. I appreciate your text message as well. And Neil saying after Canberra beating the Cowboys, beating the Sharks, could this be the day of upsets? Well, Parramatta started well, but they're trailing 6 points to 0 now. They do have the ball attacking the Cowboys line. Pryke gets an offload away. De Silva was waiting for it, gets it away to Moses, 25 away from the Cowboys line in centre field. De Silva left out of dummy half of Volkman, takes a few steps, changes direction to Samrani. Samrani 13 away from the Cowboys line on the last. De Silva comes right out of dummy half for Moses. He'll kick across field. He's looking for Kelly. He finds Kelly. Still the last, so he grabs it on the toe, and up its Weidel is flying through, and he's first there. The Cowboys were just standing there and watching. They hadn't bought tickets. They're involved in the game. They just watched the ball go straight through. Up its Weidel flies through, gets his hands on the football, scores his third try in just his second NRL game, and the Parramatta Eels are on the board. It's the Cowboys 6, Parramatta 4 with a kick to come.
Yeah, well, we go back to the error made by Scott Drinkwater, which gives possession to the Parramatta Eels. They're able to get deep inside Cowboys territory, and then last play, stock standard stuff here. Mitch Moses gets in and near the play the ball, kicks it across field to find his target in Kelly, but it's a short kick. Kelly's really aware of it. They give him too much time when he catches the ball. He can just pick what he wants to do, and the second kick is very dangerous, especially when there's no covering behind the line, and then great work from Twaddle to scoot through, get the ball down in the in goal.
Off to the Perth Bears in 2027, but he's certainly making his mark felt here after that double on debut against the West Tigers. Touchline, Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, it's a new strategy we're seeing from a lot of teams where they're not competing for the kicks if it's not over their try line. And it just, I've seen it have the same consequences so many times. I've got to tip my hat to Brian Kelly there. That was really time play as well as the kick. He was under a little bit of pressure there, but yeah, he just nailed that.
I read out about Newcastle Rugby League earlier, this one, qualifying final. Central Newcastle defeated South Newcastle 26-18 to book their place against Maitland in the grand final as Moses slots it 10 in from the western touchline. So that is a great story in Newcastle. I know they are, Maitland have been the form team over the last few years, but the Central Charlestown Butcher Boys, or Central Newcastle as they're now known, they haven't won a grand final for, I think it's something like 75 years. So unfortunately for our mate Bobcat,
They got beaten.
approaching South Newcastle, they've been beaten. So Central 80 minutes away from breaking a something like 75-year hoodoo. 0467920222 in the NRLW. The Roosters leading the Broncos 4 points to 0. And in the AFL third quarter, Geelong leading North Melbourne 85-83, Brisbane leading Gold Coast 43-25, and Australia 4 for 150 in the cricket as the Parramatta Eels have the ball back after points, and Saxon Pryke, the 22-year-old from Rouse Hill, is 28 away from his own line. They go to the left-hand side, and Kartonga has the ball 33 away, 18 in from the eastern touchline. Ugly ball out of dummy half from De Silva to Moretti, but Moretti goes along with it and takes the tackle 1 metre inside Cowboys territory. Then from the next play, De Silva scoots over the halfway line, 9 inside the Cowboys half. Final play, so Moses at first receiver. What about the spiral on that? That was going to turn Drinkwater inside out, but he read it beautifully and took it on the chest. He's taken 9 away from his own goal line. It's 6-all with 23 minutes to go in the first half.
It was almost...
hang on, no, sorry, he was just saying, Todd Smith just telling him to get back on the mark, Dino.
Yeah, well, that spiral from Mitch Moses, it was almost the perfect spiral, which meant that it didn't actually swirl around too much for Scott Drinkwater. It was up there for a while, but he did a great job to catch it, and he's got another one here. Moving back on the mark, that's twice in a row. Yeah,
you don't see that too often. The double referee getting involved, and now Murray Darlungi for the Cowboys is 19 away from the line, centre field. He'll play the ball for Marnie, who goes one off the ruck, short right-hand side. Coming back into traffic is Zach Labour, who plays the ball. And now Marnie on the fourth out of dummy half. He was looking for the 40-20, but it goes straight down the throat of Upper Twaddle, who goes back over the 40, off to Josh Adokar on the left. John Chester was convinced it was offside. It was a forward pass. I thought it was actually okay, and Josh Adokar has lost the ball in the tackle, so maybe the footy gods are smiling on Tom Chester. I thought the pass was okay, but Josh Adokar's lost the ball. He wants to challenge, and Mitch Moses is going to say, okay, Josh, what does the Fox say? It's happened all the way over on the eastern side, Dino, a long way from us, but we'll get a better look on the screen.
I reckon they just beat the challenge clock as well, the Parramatta Eels. It was a distance for Josh Adokar to get to Mitch Moses to issue it.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Cowboys players on him. He loses the ball cold. Are they saying that he's saying that there might have been an arm on it? There were 5 Cowboys in there.
Looks like the decision's been quick. It's a penalty.
Yeah. amongst the 5 Cowboys players, and Parramatta get the penalty. Matthew Elliott, touchline.
Well, let's see what Parramatta can do with good field position again. The Cowboys are present, and then they're not, and then they're present, and then we'll see what happens this set. But for me at the moment, the team that looks the most coordinated is definitely the Parramatta Eels.
Just got a screenshot of one of our texters of Taumalolo's hit on Mitchell Moses earlier, maybe suggesting that there was potential touch of the shoulder, but we'll wait and see what the match review committee thinks of that throughout the week. Thank you for that text message. As getting up and playing the ball is Barlow. They go to the left-hand side now, and here's Kaptonga over the 30-metre line. 25 away from the Cowboys line, held up in the tackle. With 21 to go in the first half. De Silva out left-hand side. Twiddle's there running on. Takes the tackle 10 away from the Cowboys line. 15 in from the eastern touchline. They come to the right now. Volkman at a wide first receiver. Wants a couple of plays to go unders. He's going to have to take the tackle here because Barlow, they're going to play on. So there was no obstruction there. And Jack Williams is now 8 away from the goal line. 20 in from the western touchline as he gets up and plays the ball for De Silva. Left-hand side Moses. Kicking across field from right to left. Samrani bats it back and forth for Volkman, who scores. It might have gone forward off a Cowboys player in the contest, but it doesn't matter because it's gone backwards off Volkman as well, and it's been picked up and scored over on that left-hand side. Jordan Samrani gives Parramatta the lead for the first time in this game, 10 points to 6 with a kick to come.
Yeah, well, I've got to agree with Matty. His point about the rhythm or less coordination of the Eels with their attack. Even when they get second phase, sometimes second phase can disrupt your rhythm as an attacking unit, but they're jumping onto the job the next play, and they're pushing up on the ball, and everything's out in front, so there's a lot of flow to what they're doing. They've put themselves, again, deep into Cowboys territory. A nice crossfield kick from Mitch Moses, and I agree, I think it's Tom Chester, right, that goes up and knocks the ball forward back into the hands of the Parramatta Eels, and Volkman, simple show and go on the outside with so much space to get over the line.
Yeah, so I think I said Samrani went up for the ball, and he was the one in the contest as it fell for Volkman and scores the try for the Parramatta Eels. His 6th of the season. Matthew Elliott, touchline.
Yeah, well, again, a bit of evidence there that, again, 2 tries on last plays and kicks off Mitch Moses. None of it was rocket science, but you've got to compete for the ball and you've got to get people around that area because there's never a guarantee that you're going to get the ball back. And there was more Parramatta Eels there than Cowboys, and that's the outcome of it's not hard to assess.
Thank you, Missy. Appreciate it. And Anthony in Seven Hills. Billy, a message for you up in Brisbane. Anthony ordered his Bears jersey on Wednesday and it arrived on Thursday as Moses puts this one across the face. Unable to add the extras. It remains 10 points to 6. Yeah, Billy over there with MG in the week, or last week it was, wasn't it, for the launch of the jersey. Great to see Big Bill with a smile on his face as the Bears are back in town. And of course, a big game up there in Brisbane this evening with Quentin Hull, the Broncos and the Warriors. 0467920222 in the NRLW. The Broncos leading the Roosters 6 points to 4. 3/4 time in the AFL. North Melbourne leading Geelong 89-88. Brisbane leading Gold Coast 49-39. Second quarter AFLW. Richmond leading Collingwood 18-12. And Australia 4 for 151 in the cricket. Alex Carey has 11. Cam Green has 41, trailing by 77 on day 3 against Bangalore National. Back underway. Luca Moretti has been hit high here. That wasn't a good tackle at all. Coming off the restart, Hilam Lukey is really disappointed with himself. He's going to be on report here at the very least, but he's absolutely copped Luca Moretti here. That's an old school swinging arm, Dino.
Yeah, and there's a bit of time out here while it gets reviewed in the bunker. Todd Smith calling Lukey out, so direct and high, and
he could be in trouble here.
Yeah, he might be going to the bin.
Yeah. Matt Elliott down on the touchline. What say you?
Yeah, well, as Dean said, it's got high, it's got force, and see you later.
Yep. Here he goes.
Take 10 deep ones.
So the Cowboys down to 12 for the next 10 minutes, 19 to go in the first half. It wasn't good at all, Hilam Lukey. It was a really lazy tackle, Dino.
Yeah, well, one thing that I've noticed with the kickoffs here from the Cowboys, and they've done this over the last few games, they love to pour down with pace and obviously try try and put pressure on that first carry, but the footwork from the Eels off that first carry is doing them in. It was Griffin Neame sort of on the inside of that. He gets stepped straight up, and Helan Luke has to come across and try and come up with almost a one-on-one line break safe tackle, and that's what causes the high contact.
I think I said Q. It's Spriggy who's made the trip up to Brisbane to call that game with Billy and Zane Bojack after this one. The third game of NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. Kautonga has the ball 8 metres inside Cowboys territory. Right-hand side they come, and the ball from Mitchell Moses almost, sends Duncan Brown through a gap, but the replacement player gets up and plays it 30 away now. Here's Junior Barlaw. Backs into some traffic, but he's held on to there by Griffin Neame, and he plays the ball 25 away from the Cowboys line. Leading 10 points to 6, almost going straight through was Williams. Gets the quick play, the ball to Silva. They were all offside there, the Cowboys, so they couldn't make a play to Silva. They had to let him go 10 metres, but by the time he went 10 metres, he was ready to put the ball down in the corner. Talon De Silva scores the third for the Eels tonight. Maybe the upset is on. His 9th of the season. Parramatta's third of the afternoon, and they lead 14 points to 6. Kick to come and 18 to go first half.
Yeah, less than 2 minutes are in that ensuing set from the sin bin. It looked like there was so much space already in the Cowboys' defensive line. They were backtracking through that whole set, and then Talon De Silva, he's so quick out of dummy half, and he recognises that there's markers down, there's a player not in position, they're backtracking down the short side. He just jumps out, and then it's a weird attempted tackle. It's a poor attempted tackle, I have to say, from the Cowboys' Jay Clifford. He tries to get across to him in time, which he does, but then he reaches out, he grabs, he doesn't really put his shoulder in, and just lets him carry him over the try line. So yeah, the attitude there for the Cowboys is just not, it isn't there at all.
Stuart in Broome is saying loving the call. Can't the Eels, well, they're looking good at the moment, Matthew.
They certainly are, Glenn, and I can tell you what, we talked about the hit of Jason Taumalolo on Mitch Moses. That is the only consequence of carrying the ball by a Parramatta player this whole game, and you saw it in that last set. Very, very soft defence by the Cowboys.
For a team that's knocking on the door to play finals footy, Mitch Moses puts this one across the face, so he's 1 from 3 at the moment, sitting in 8th place on the ladder at the moment. The Cowboys knowing how important 2 points is this evening, and just not at the races really at the moment. Down to 12 men as well, with Helan Lukey still 7.5 minutes to go in the sin bin. 0467 920 222. Thanks for your text messages. Please stick to the commentary. Less texts and other scores. Leave till half and full time. Just went the length of the field with no commentary. No, we didn't. Thank you very much for that one. 0467 920 222. We'll go around the grounds as well. Broncos leading the Roosters 12 points to 4 in NRLW. Full-time in Queensland Cup, PNG's beaten Western Clydesdales, and Women's Premiership, Mackay's beaten Tweed. AFL fourth quarter, Geelong 94, Melbourne 90, and third quarter, Brisbane leading Gold Coast 55-40, with Australia 4 for 152 in the cricket. As we've got the ball now, Parramatta first set and first use of the ball after points. Duncan Brown plays it 16 away from the line. They'll get up and they'll come one off the ruck right-hand side to get over the 20-metre line. They've got the ball through Kautonga, 24 away from their own goal line, through the hands of Saxon Pryke. Moses changes direction for Williams back on the inside. Williams has it 30 away in centre field. He'll play the ball to Silver out as dummy half. They go to the right, one off the ruck short side, and Will Pensini plays the ball 11 short of halfway. So back left now, Paulo will take it up towards the halfway line. He's a metre inside his own territory on the last. 16 to go first half. Parramatta leading 14 points to 6, with Moses kicking down the short side, and it's taken by Drinkwater in the corner there. He'll return it back into open space and then take the tackle 11 away from his own goal line in centre field. Parramatta leading 14 points to 6 over the Cowboys on ABC Sport. Matthew Elliott, Dean Hallertau and Glenn Lauder with you as Braden Burns tries to get away from a few Eels, but he takes the tackle in the end, 29 away from his own goal line. He might have wanted 6 again there for the holding, but referee Todd Smith was having none of it, and the Cowboys will have to continue this set 35 away from their own goal line through Chester. Now they do get 6 again, so they were too slow on that occasion, the Parramatta Eels. So they're getting it right, the referees, just maybe a play behind. Cohen Hess plays it 2 metres away from the halfway line. Now the other interchange player, Tom McKaylee, up over the 40, plays the ball 11 inside Parramatta territory. One off the ruck right-hand side, Talangi in off his wing, 29 away from Parramatta's line centre field. Marnie goes right, gets it away to Purdue. Now on it goes, and Drinkwater is 18 away from the line, taken possibly high by Volkman, but it was a good tackle about 18 away from the line to stop Purdue on the way through. Now they come back left-hand side. A good little offload there by McKaylee, and backing up but losing the ball and allowing Parramatta to pick the ball up. The Cowboys there. Parramatta let off the hook. It was a good ball, and I thought Purdue was through, Dino, but at the moment Parramatta had the ball coming away from their own end. They lead 14-6 with 14 and a half to go first half.
Yeah, good impact from McKaylee in his few touches on the field, and Purdue there, he gets a bit of a rush of blood. He still had a tackle up his sleeve, tries to come up with a almost miracle kick into the backfield. Fortunately for him, he gets dragged down by the Parra defender and loses the ball. So a bit more of the same here for the Cowboys.
Dylan Walker's on the park for the Parramatta Eels now, as is Harrison Edwards in jumper number 21 as he plays the ball 8 metres inside Cowboys territory. Now they come to the right, and Moses is whacked again, and he gets taken a second time. Cohen has a double crack at him there. John Bateman's on there. It was John Bateman who is telling Moses to get up. He was on the ground and he had 2 goes at him, and now Moses is just taking his time here, but the referee's not going to blow any penalty or 6 again. It's the last. Moses had the wind taken out of his sails by a double hit from Bateman, and that's a good take there from Drinkwater, 10 out from his own goal line. 13:50 to go in the first half. Parramatta leading 14-6. Touchline Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, Mitch Moses still holding the back of his neck, but it's not like Mitch to exaggerate anything, is it? No? Maybe.
No comment.
Well, I'll make the comment. He was trying to milk a penalty.
Braden Burns plays it 20 away from the goal line. Thank you, Matthew. And here's Jackson Purdue, 33 away from the line. Good scoop. Left-hand side, one off the ruck. They come. Drinkwater went in the dummy half. The outside back's doing the heavy lifting as Burns takes the tackle 8 away from the halfway line. Left-hand side, Clifford will kick on the run. Stabbing, grubbing kick. It's trapped by Brian Kelly quite well on the boot. And then he picks the ball up 10 short of the halfway line and 10 in from the western touchline with 13 to go in the first half. Moses is not happy with John Bateman at the moment. He tried to push the Englishman off there at marker, and now Parramatta will give the penalty away, the obstruction. Talon De Silva was the man running through and causing the Cowboys to miss the tackle on the running player, and the North Queensland Cowboys get the penalty 6 metres inside Parramatta territory without the ball in their hand. They've still got 3.5 minutes with 12 men, with Hilam Lukey in the sin bin, and 12:40 to go in the first half. Parramatta 14, North Queensland 6.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a protest from the Eels because Reid Marty had actually pushed Talon De Silva back into towards his own line, I guess you'd say, and they were complaining that the reason that he got obstructed or he got in the way was because he was pushed, but he was definitely standing in the defensive line, which you can't do.
So I think Parramatta were telling us that Kelma Tuolangi was coming into the 19 originally, but that hasn't been the case, and in the end it was Harrison Edwards that's come into the 19 in place of Jack DeBellin. So the Cowboys have the ball 10 away from Parramatta's line centre field. They come right out of dummy half from Marnie, gets it away to Drinkwater. Purdue, and then close to the line, can't find a way through, is over on the far side, Cotter. So they play the ball left-hand side, one off the ruck, and they'll score here, will they? Cohen Hess close to the line. I think he's got the ball down. Todd Smith's happy as well. There were 2 or 3 Parramatta players underneath him. Harrison Edwards was sure that he got his hands underneath it, but Cohen Hess has done enough for the North Queensland Cowboys. His 30th birthday yesterday, his 2nd try of the season today, and the Cowboys are back in at 14 points to 10 with a kick to come from adjacent to the right-hand upright.
Yeah, smart work out of dummy half by Reid Marnie. He just jumps out, finds a big man in Hess, who he starts spinning before the ball's actually in his hand. But they're able to isolate Harrison Edwards and come up with a one-on-one tackle. And watching the replay here, it doesn't look like he gets it down in the first instance. So he keeps trying to get the ball to the ground after that. Referee Todd Smith's in a good position to... It's really hard to determine here whether or not the ball gets down.
Yeah, it's certainly grounded before the line, isn't it? And then it bounces up, and I'm wondering whether Todd Smith saw that grounding and has decided that it was on the line. Matthew Elliott, touchline. I think he might struggle after that initial one.
Yeah, if it goes up as a try and the ref's right there, I think this will be awarded a try. But hang on, I was wrong.
Yeah, I think
as soon as that happens, we know what the result is going to be.
So Todd Smith sees this grounding here, just short of the line, and then
the ball is up at this stage. It stays up.
I mean, how many goes does he get at it? Like,
there's going to be a point at which you held.
Yeah, exactly.
Harrison Edwards' arm is under the ball here.
He has 3 goes at trying to get it down, and Harrison Edwards stops him each time.
Apatwaddle's arm gets under the ball. Cohen Hess remains held up. We have a decision.
So Todd Smith and Matthew Elliott were incorrect. And the Cowboys will continue this set. I think it was play 4, I believe. Yeah, play 4, Todd Smith is indicating Cohen Hess will play it 10 away from the goal line. So not a second try of the season yet for Cohen Hess. And they had the ball through McKaylee, who hasn't scored in 107 games. Will he get one? No, he's 7 away from the goal line in centre field. Final play now. Plays it for Marnie. Right-hand side, Drinkwater. Now Purdue will grub it through. Burns is flying, so too Chester. But the Parramatta Eels get there first. Unfortunately for Jordan Samrani, he knocks it over the touch in goal line. It'll be a goal line dropout, but he had to make a play at that. In fact, it's Twiddle coming across. It comes off the Cowboys player last, but he might not have played at that, Dino.
I think he knocks it on anyway there, Twiddle, regardless if it comes off the Cowboys player. But really nice touch there from Jackson Purdue on the kicking behind the line. Gets a really challenging bounce for the Eels.
11 minutes to go in the first half. Parramatta leading 14 points to 6. NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. Cohen Hess was just denied a try now, and he's got his back up. He's not happy. He flies into the Parramatta defence and takes the tackle 33 away from the Eels line. One off the ruck left-hand side, McKaylee. And Tom McKaylee is 27 away from Parramatta's line and 22 in from the western touchline. Here's Marnie going across to Clifford, then Purdue changing direction. Strong run from Ruben Cotter into De Silva and a couple of other Parramatta players to play at 19 away from the line. They come back left, Marnie out of dummy half for Clifford. Now when it goes Drinkwater, good play, held it up nicely and then almost sent Labor through a hole, but it closed quickly and he plays the ball 10 away from the line, Labor. Drinkwater dummy half, right for Marnie. Now it goes to Clifford and Purdue. I thought he was going to kick, but it's a long ball over the top for Braden Burns and they won't be able to keep him out. Burns scores in the corner. It was a beautiful pass from Jackson Purdue. It was about 30 metres on the fly and Braden Burns scores his 14th for the season for the North Queensland Cowboys, and now they are back 14 points to 10 with a kick to come and 10 to go first half.
Yeah, we nailed it there, Este. It was a beautiful pass, 30 metres or so. Really nice sweeping backline movement all the way from the left-hand side of the field. He summed it up perfectly. He had numbers outside, another sweep play outside him. So he was thinking that the lead run or out the back Chester on the sweep run, he cuts them both out, goes straight over the top. And the best thing about that pass is the time that he gives it in the air, it doesn't slow down Braden Burns. He's got a little bit of a hop in his run, but he's got so much space on the outside of Josh Adokar, who'd come in to try and shut it down. He's able to get to the corner, and you shouldn't get that opportunity when you're down a player. You should have numbers defensively. The Cowboys making the most of some really nice passing.
I think our text has been listening to you, Dino, because they said, how do they get an overlap with 12 men? Exactly right. Touchline Matthew Elliott. The good news is they won't have 12 men any longer because Helam Lukey is back on the field.
Yeah, he has just taken the field, and that was a really impressive shift from the Cowboys, right from the left-hand touchline and a score in the right-hand corner. There was some really good passing there, particularly from Reid Marnie as well, who got the ball to Purdue.
10 in from the eastern touchline. Drinkwater nailed the first one. The left boot strikes it and the touch judges like it. Drinkwater's 2 from 2. The Cowboys trailing 14 points to 12 with 8.5 to go in the first half. Importantly, it's 13 on 13 with Helam Lukey back on the park after that high shot on Luca Moretti. 0467 920 222. Thank you very much, Ants from Leven. Loving the call. Always enjoying how teams out of the playoffs have the chance to knock off teams higher than themselves. Yeah, thank you very much for that one, Ants. Thanks to Froggy at Thirul and Rocky. Thank you to this texter who's sending quite a few. Cowboys, Mitch has to be aware, JT and Bateman are on him either way. Yeehaw, right 'em Cowboys, Hess the Terminator. I agree with Matty Elliott. Matt Moses is shameless. Thank you, George. Appreciate that one. 0467 920 222. Halftime in the NRLW. Brisbane leading the Roosters 14-4. So the Cowboys with the ball after points, and they're coming away from their own end up over the 20-metre line, 25 away from their own line in particular. Centre field, getting up and playing the ball is Lukey after that sin binning, nice and fresh. And then McKaylee just slipping over as he takes the pass, and he takes the tackle 29 away from his line. So left-hand side Bateman heading back to the UK in 2027 and linking up with his boyhood club Bradford after debuting for them as a 17-year-old. Matthew Elliott's former club as well, former Bradford coach. And the Eels keeping the Cowboys inside their own half just this set. As Drinkwater plays it, Clifford kicks it from 3 metres away from the halfway line. High kick up in the air. Upper Twiddle takes the catch, and he's brought to ground pretty much instantaneously, 21 away from his own goal line. 14 points to 12. Parramatta leading the Cowboys with 7.5 to go in the first half. You are with Matthew Elliott, Dean Hullatow and Glenn Lauder. Good to have your company on ABC Sports, local radio, ABC Listen, of course, wherever you're listening around Australia or the world. It is Parramatta leading the North Queensland Cowboys 14 points to 12. And Brian Kelly 10 metres away from the halfway line for the Eels. They go right. Mitchell Moses changes direction, gets it back to Bensini, and he gets past a couple as well as Bensini, trying to find a way through. They're still hanging on to him, but he's still going. He made 5 or 6 post-contact metres there, and he's 11 inside Cowboys territory on the last. Moses puts the high kick up in the air again. Chase is coming through. Addo-Carr, it goes past Samrani, backwards off the Cowboys, and then dived on. So North Queensland and Chester will start this set 9 away from their own goal line. 6:40 to go in the first half. Parramatta 14, North Queensland 12.
That was a really good kick, and obviously the chasers coming through, putting all sorts of pressure on Braden Burns out there for the Cowboys. But a good job by Chester to stay alive, to get back and cover up the ball. It gets his team possession back, and the Cowboys haven't had it easy getting out of their own end the last few sets, but their kick chase has been pretty good.
Labour 31 away from the line. Left-hand side, strong run, McKaylee, and good tackle as well, bringing him down 10 short of halfway. Final play, the Cowboys still in their own territory as Clifford kicks from just inside 40. Twiddle takes it on his own 10-metre line. So he'll return this one up towards the 30, and Parramatta starting this set 29 away from their own goal line. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Leading 14 points to 12, the Eels, over the North Queensland Cowboys, currently in 8th place, trying to find a spot in the final series this year. Bye next week as well, the Cowboys. So they'd love to go into that with 2 points, freshening up ahead of the last couple of games for the North Queensland Cowboys, which are both at home against the West Tigers and Canberra. So they can see them as winnable as well if they can get past Parramatta tonight. But they're trailing 14-12. Parramatta have it a metre short of the halfway line. They come left out of dummy half from De Silva to Volkman, and then almost finding a way through was Kitione Kartonga, but he takes the tackle 9 inside Cowboys territory on the last. They come open side right now for Moses to try another one of those spiralling bombs. He doesn't get the same connection, but it's allowed to bounce by Labour, picked up by Kelly. Still the last. They might not need another set. Oh, what a tackle in the corner. Benson is taken out. It is a try-saving tackle by Zach Labour, who let the ball bounce in the first instance, but responds beautifully and dives in the corner, George Gregan style, to stop Jeff Wilson. This time, he stops Bensony in the corner. Let's have a listen to Todd Smith. 5 to go first half. Parramatta 14, Cowboys 12.
Yeah, just watching again, I'm not sure what Labour was doing, letting that bounce. It was a bit wobbly, but geez, you're giving the opportunity to the other team in terms of where it might go after that. Chase is coming through. I don't think he touches the ball. He gets it on his toe, does he?
No touch from the Cowboys here.
Grant Atkins is in the bunker. He's not saying much at the moment, is Grant Atkins. Kelly
just looking to see if there's clean possession taken by Brian Kelly.
I don't think Taulagi plays at the ball.
Clean possession's taken.
Yep. So this is continuing to play on
this
here.
Is still tackle 5.
They need now to look at the corner. Does Bensony get there, or does Labour do enough to get Bensony over the touchline? He does. The knee is on the touchline.
Right knee touches the touching goal.
What a tackle that is by Zach Labour, who probably didn't need to make it if he didn't let the ball bounce, Dino.
Yeah, well, it ended up being a tackle that he had to make to make up for the missed ball, a missed catch that he didn't take. So the Cowboys breathed a sigh of relief. That would have been really important for the Eels going into halftime, because they have been really dominant in this first 35 minutes so far. But the Cowboys, through their 2 tries, have stuck close enough that they'll go into halftime feeling a little bit more more comfortable if it stays this way.
Touchline, Matthew Elliott.
I don't know. I've got grey hair, so you might need to help me out. What happened the last time they let the ball bounce down in that corner?
It's just...
They scored, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, like, seriously, that wasn't a hard catch to take. I'd be at the back of the box talking to Craig Bellamy if that was my turn.
I'm training puppies at the moment, and they learn when things don't go the right way. The Cowboys have done it twice in a row. North Queensland are coming away from their own end now. Cohen Hess has the ball 9 short of halfway. 4.5 to go in the first half. They're down by 2. Marnie on the last, kicking out a dummy half. Was outside 40. Twytle lets it bounce a couple of times and picks it up 8 away from his own goal line. Returns it up to almost the 20-metre line. 5 in from the eastern touchline there. The Parramatta Eels coming away from their own end through Samrani. Good strong run, but he runs into a wall of Cowboys. Takes the tackle 25 away from his own line. They go open side right, Moses. Then he gets the ball away to Kelly, and Brian Kelly is 23 away from his line and 20 in from the western touchline with the Silver waiting at dummy half. 1 off the ruck, left-hand side, Jack Williams. He's 30 away from his own line in centre field. 4 to go in the first half. Left-hand side to Silver, dummy half for Dylan Walker. Short ball. Kautonga can't find a way through. Held up in the tackle. Parramatta 5 short of the halfway line. Play it. They come back open side right now through Moses, who'll kick just inside his own territory, centre of the field. It's a deep one, and it's taken by Talangi, 6 away from the goal line. Waiting for him is Harrison Graham and also Jack Williams, 17 away from the goal line in centre field. Talangi plays it for Drinkwater. Left-hand side, run off the ruck they come. Braden Burns is all the way in off his right wing to come over to the left, and he's 15 in from the western touchline. Now Drinkwater takes the hit up, gets the offload. No, Reid Marnie wasn't watching, so it goes in front of Marnie, bounces into the hands of Tom Chester. Marnie wasn't ready for that offload at all, but the Cowboys get away with it. McKaylee 11 short of halfway centre field. 3 to go first half. Marnie out of dummy half. Drinkwater gets the pass away to Cotter. Ruben Cotter breaks the tackle, and he finds himself 10 inside Parramatta territory before he's brought to ground on the second attempt. Left-hand side, kicking on the run is Drinkwater. Waiting for it is Twytle. Whacked by Clifford. Was it high? Todd Smith has waved it away immediately, and now he is going to call it back. So Todd Smith must have got a call there because he waved it away initially, and then he's decided it was high contact from Jake Clifford on upper Twytle with 2.5 to go in the first half. Parramatta have a penalty, 7 away from their own goal line. They lead 14 points to 12.
Yeah, look, there's not much in it there. It's definitely contact at the back of the head, a little straight hand from Clifford. But that's one thing, if you're chasing through, it's great to put that pressure on with the chase, but you've got to drop your body height so that you're not putting yourself at least at the risk of coming up with the loose or a stray arm. If he drops the shoulder there straight into the side of Twytle, then he comes up with a real dominant shot.
How does Todd Smith wave that away? Like, it's clear contact to the back of the head. I know it wasn't much, but Todd Smith's right in line there. And anyway, Harrison Graham has the ball 6 short of the halfway line with 1:50 to go. Parramatta in possession on the halfway line. Left-hand side they go. Duncan Brown has the ball 2 inside Cowboys territory with a 2-point lead. De Silva gets it away to Dylan Walker. Changing direction, Moses. Back on the inside for Jack Williams, who's been running that line quite often this evening. 11 inside Cowboys territory. Playing it to Silva. Left-hand side to Dylan Walker. Gets it away to Volkman. Now when it goes to Twytle. Space on the left for the Fox. He gets the ball back on the inside, Samrani. It was lost forward anyway. Samrani kicks it away. North Queensland will come back with the football about 16 away from their own goal line. 1:15 to go. Geez, I thought for a second there that the Fox was away, but the Cowboys rallied and they still trail 14 points to 12. 1 minute to go first half.
Yeah, really nice play from Volkman. He sort of like shows a bit of a ball, and he just stutters into the line, then he throws it out the back, a double pump to create a bit more space and time on the outside. Then Twytle as well does a great job with the cutout pass to find the Fox. But Braden Burns, he does good just to roll him in and save the day for his team.
The Cowboys not playing the ball on the mark. Todd Smith is going to tell him to go back, and then he plays it in exactly the same spot that he did anyway, Murray Talangi. Cohen Hess takes the tackle, 19 away from the line, 35 seconds to go in the first half. Parramatta leading 14 points to 12. The Cowboys will finish this half in possession, you would have to think, as Burns gets up and plays it 26 away from his line here. Tom McKaylee now is 30 away from his own goal line in the centre of the park. It's play 4, so Marnie thinks about kicking, but he scoots out a dummy half. He doesn't really want to give Parramatta the ball back. 12 seconds to go, and the Cowboys now, can they find something with what will probably be the last play of the first half? Purdue runs it. Grubbers, it comes off a Parramatta player. That's probably played out. It doesn't matter because it's the last play of the half. Anyway, that pass goes 43 metres forward from Tom McKaylee. The Parramatta players fall on it, and the referee, Todd Smith, will blow a halt to the opening half at Western Sydney Stadium. Parramatta leading 14 points to 12 over the North Queensland Cowboys. They started this game really impressively as well. Parramatta, the Cowboys, barely touched the ball through the first few minutes. They did score the first try, though, through Reid Marnie, and then the Eels coming back through Upper Twiddle, Ronald Volkman, and Talon De Silva before Braden Burns got the Cowboys back within 2 with 11 minutes to go in the first half. Dino, it's been a real end-to-end battle. It hasn't been pretty at times, has it? It's they're two evenly matched teams. They're playing really similar styles.
Yeah, they are, and it has been end-to-end. After probably the first 5 minutes of bizarre football, some of the most bizarre football we've seen to start a game, the Brian Kelly break off the kickoff, not something you see every day, especially from a winger coming infield to take that first carry. It was really poor defence from the Cowboys, and they were shocked. They were shocked for probably the first 5 minutes. There was a double deflection on the last play coming out of their end with kicks. Then there was some really bizarre play from both teams, but once it settled into a bit of back and forth, the Cowboys were able to get up the other end, and they haven't been there much attacking the Eels line, but they've been able to come up with 2 tries, so no doubt that's something that's going to be very pleasing for their coach, despite the fact that they missed the jump. The Eels would be happy with that effort. They probably feel like they should be further ahead. I know they've missed 2 goals, but they had a heavy weight of possession for the majority of that half, and they enjoyed some really good field position as well. So the fact that they're only 2 points ahead at half time, maybe they would feel a bit more comfortable if they were further. But nevertheless, it was a good attitude from the Eels throughout that 40 minutes, and good to see them trying to spoil, as we heard from Melissa, trying to spoil those teams that are vying for finals places.
Yeah, Matthew, I think if a real estate agent was describing it, like a fixer-upper or something, they'd say it was razzle-dazzle footy, but I don't think that is what we saw out there. It was just a bit ugly razzle-dazzle, wasn't it?
Well, if you're going to be a real estate agent, you would have said there was no bid for the first 10 minutes. It was just silence. No one knew what was going on. But, I think if I was Jason Riles, I'd be saying, look, we've got to put ourselves in this position a lot this year where we can win games of 40, but we haven't been able to put 2 halves together. This is our opportunity. Todd Payton, I'm not going to repeat what I think he would say, but he'd be disappointed with the mentality that his team showed up with. So that's their big issue. We saw Jason Taumalolo take a couple of really strong carries through the middle, get some quick play the balls, but other than that, they haven't really looked threatening on a consistent basis. And when you look at their team, they've got a team chock-a-block full of high-quality players.
Froggy says he can't see the Sharks winning another game. Thank you for that, Froggy. I hate the Broncos, but upset tonight versus the Warriors. Thank you for that one. Mike pointing out that Braden Burns, yes, he is nephew of the great Rod Silver, and of course cousin of our friend Marley, who worked a lot with us early in her career as well. Thank you very much for that one, Mike. I disagree with Matty Elliott and his anti-Eels commentary. Nigel from Wangi. Matthew, are you still down there? Are you anti-Eels commentary?
No, I'm not anti-Eels. I'm just the Moses Lawyers firm is out on the field, and we see it every week.
Yeah,
come on.
Exactly. The setup of the Burns try was very good from Purdue. It looked very much like what Cows must be hoping will be plenty of fullback plays from 27 onwards. Thank you, Tom from Lutwich. Appreciate that. ABC's the perfect way to listen to the footy with updates on everything. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks, Dion. Appreciate your text messages as always. And what is it with refs? 1 millimetre, take it back. I mean, the problem is he tells them to take it back and they take it from the same spot that they were going to anyway. NRLW, thank you, Dennis, for your text messages as well. Brisbane leading the Roosters 14 points to 10 in the second half. Queensland Cup underway, Townsville leading Mackay 10-0. AFL fourth quarter, North Melbourne trailing Geelong now 118 to 103. And Brisbane leading the Gold Coast in the Q Clash 70-41. AFLW, Richmond leading Collingwood 26-13. And obviously that is why Brett Sprigg is in Brisbane. He's going to be calling the game with Billy Moore and Zane Bojack. The Broncos and the Warriors next. We'll get an update and a preview from those guys because Q is covering the Q Clash. It's called the Q Clash, named after Quentin Hull, of course, that game between Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Here at Western Sydney Stadium, Parramatta leading the Cowboys by 14 points to 12. Upper Twiddle, Ronald Volkman, Talon De Silva with the tries. Mitch Mitch Moses only 1 from 3. Reid Marnie and Braden Burns with the tries for the Cowboys. Scott Drinkwater is 2 from 2. Helam Lukey, of course, sin-binned and put on report for that high shot on Luca Moretti. And John Bateman also on report as well for the North Queensland Cowboys. 14-12 at half-time. Next, a preview from Brisbane. But first, let's get the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
This is ABC News with David Rowlands. Victorian authorities say they're working quickly to vaccinate penguin colonies after the confirmed death of a little penguin on Phillip Island from H5 bird flu. The bird was found away from the area on the island where famous daily penguin parade takes place. The 2 great crested terns found in Victoria's East Gippsland and on the Mornington Peninsula have also died of bird flu. The state's biodiversity officer, Dr. James Todd, says the detections are concerning ahead of the breeding season.
These areas represent areas in which large numbers of species that are at risk from H5 congregate and aggregate, particularly over the coming spring, where large numbers of animals will be feeding and breeding.
Still in Victoria, where a senior government minister says Labor will definitely field a candidate in the seat of Bendigo East after former Premier Jacinta Allen yesterday announced she won't recontest at the November state election. Ms Allen is retiring from politics after losing the Labor Party leadership to Ben Carroll last month. Health Minister Ingrid Stitt says it's important that Labor continues to represent the electorate.
We will have candidates fighting hard to win seats in all of our lower house seats across the state, because we know that there's too much at stake in this election. We want to make sure that we can continue to invest in those services that Victorians rely on.
Lebanon's state-run national news agency says 7 people are being killed and 3 wounded in an Israeli airstrike in the south of the country. It says paramedics are still searching through rubble for victims. The death toll makes the strike one of the deadliest since Lebanon and Israel announced a framework agreement in late June, laying out a plan for Israeli forces to withdraw from southern Lebanon in exchange for the disarmament of the Iran-backed Hezbollah militant group. In recent days, Israel has insisted it won't withdraw from the region until Hezbollah is disarmed, raising the possibility of an indefinite occupation of southern Lebanon. Rescue officials in Indonesia say the death toll from a powerful offshore earthquake earlier today is now at least 20. Larry Buttrose has the latest.
The magnitude 7.7 quake struck at a depth of 15 kilometres off the island of Flores in the east of the Indonesian archipelago. Emergency workers in the island's main town of Mamere say they've so far found 20 people dead, 6 injured and 2 trapped under rubble. Teams have yet to reach Nayakeo, the Flores region closest to the epicentre. Communication signals have been affected. Attempts to reach it by road have been blocked by landslides, while a team is now attempting to reach it by ferry. Dozens of aftershocks have been recorded.
One of the largest annual events honouring First Nations culture and achievement will be held in Central Australia tonight. Courtney Barrett-Peters has the story.
Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander leaders from around Australia will be recognised for their life-changing work at the National NAIDOC Awards tonight in Alice Springs. The late Rhoda Roberts will be posthumously honoured with the Lifetime Achievement Award for the legacy she's left behind on the country's arts and culture landscape after losing her battle with cancer in March. Meanwhile, in the running for Person of the Year is Pat Turner, the first Aboriginal woman to lead a Commonwealth Government department, Dr. Lana Leslie Henfling, who has been nominated for her leadership in the New South Wales Blue Mountains, and former NBL player Timmy Duggan.
Tasmania police say a woman allegedly used an app to deliver coffees laced with an unknown substance to an ex-partner multiple times. Clancy Barlin has more.
The 43-year-old South Launceston woman has been charged with 2 counts of attempting to unlawfully administer poison with intent to harm. At a media conference this morning, Police Inspector Alina Crack alleged the woman used Airtasker to find a delivery person to send the coffees.
The woman has purchased the coffees herself and then has gained an Airtasker from the Airtasker app to deliver the coffees on her behalf.
Tasmania Police says the alleged victim, a 47-year-old man, did not drink the first coffee and reported it to police, resulting in a months-long investigation. Police say there's no reason to suspect the delivery people had any involvement.
Turning to sport, and North Melbourne has extended its AFLW record-winning streak to 28 matches with a 73-point drubbing of Geelong. The final score was the Kangaroos 15-10-100 to the Cats 3-9-27. Kangaroos Talia Randall and Blaithlin Bogue kicked 3 goals apiece in the victory. ABC News.
Get ready for a year of Test cricket like you've never heard before.
Hits the bat now, it's out. It's LBW.
Grandstand cricket.
12 months, 20 Test matches, New Zealand at home over summer, the 3 most iconic overseas tours, the 150th anniversary Test under lights at the MCG.
Driving through the covers and crunching it away to the boundary.
And it starts now with Australia versus Bangladesh.
It's out the leg before, finger goes up and Cummins strikes.
Listen to every ball live from the top end. On ABC Listen, just look for the cricket button.
The 2026 NRL Premiership. It's Indigenous round.
13 away from the Cowboys line on the last. De Silva comes right out of dummy half for Moses. He'll kick across field. He's looking for Kelly. He finds Kelly. Still the last, so he grubs it on the toe, and up at Weidel is flying through, and he's first there. The Cowboys were just standing there and watching. They hadn't bought tickets. They're involved in the game. They just watched the ball go straight through. Up at Weidel, flies through, gets his hands on the football, scores his 3rd try in just his 2nd NRL game. Plays the ball 25 away from the Cowboys line. Leading 10 points to 6, almost going straight through with Williams. Gets the quick play the ball to Silva. They were all offside there, the Cowboys, so they couldn't make a play to Silva. They had to let him go 10 metres, but by the time he went 10 metres, he was ready to put the ball down in the corner. Talon de Silva scores the 3rd for the Eels tonight. Maybe the upset is on. Drinkwater dummy half, right to Marty. Now it goes to Clifford and Purdue. I thought he was going to kick, but it's a long ball over the top for Braden Burns, and they won't be able to keep him out. Burns scores in the corner. It was a beautiful pass from Jackson Purdue. It was about 30 metres on the fly, and Braden Burns scores his 14th for the season.
ABC Sport. Indigenous round. Recognising the contributions of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples to the game of rugby league.
Yeah, welcome back to Western Sydney Stadium. 14 points to 12, Parramatta leading the Cowboys. The next game, now if you'd say a team coming 3rd, taking on the Premiers a couple of weeks out from the finals, you'd think that'd be a real test of where they are. But the New Zealand Warriors in 3rd place, Brett Sprigg, taking on the Premiers, who are sitting 2nd bottom. So New Zealand will be really looking to put their stamp on the NRL and keep pace with the Roosters and the Panthers. This one should be really interesting. Good evening to you.
G'day, Glenn. And you're going back 114 days ago, round 8, that the Brisbane Broncos last tasted victory here at home. So 7 straight games at home they've lost, which is an all-time low, and just underlines the predicament the reigning premiers are in, currently sitting 2nd last, as you said. And it's not as though it gets much easier for them tonight against the Warriors, who have shown the body of work across the year, but that also includes their performance against the competition favourites Penrith last week. So coming off a big win, the Wars, and now, depending on for and against, I mean, look, it's a way off, but they could still put themselves in 2nd spot as early as tonight. So you've got one team going for 2nd spot and another trying to avoid 2nd last on the table, which is where the Broncos currently are. Team news here is no late changes, but Gavin Shibasaki is on the bench in place of Ben Tulty for the Broncos, who will miss his first game this year. Ulrich Taffa also on that Broncos bench, first game since round 17 for him. Billy Moore is alongside me. Great to see you, Billy. And neither side has their first choice halfback, which is not to say that Tom Duffy and Luke Metcalf respectively have been 2nd rate, but it's another big opportunity for either of them to lead their team's attack tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Spree, hello to our wonderful listeners. Tom Duffy, this is his chance to really say, hey, I'm the heir apparent, because next year there's no Adam Reynolds. Someone's got to fill that role. This is his chance, because there's other ones that could take that position if he can't grab it. Luke Metcalf, wow, what a return. Last week was his 3rd game of the season. Great role. So those 2 players will be paramount. Who wins the outcome of what will be a great game of footy.
Then we're back at Western Sydney Stadium. NRLW is massive, by the way, Este. So that is now Roosters 18, 18, Broncos 14. Tried to Jess Search just a short time ago, and this will be a big game, of course, as well. My spies at the Ekka tell me that the Reece Walsh Showback has sold out. So, yes, it's been a bad year, but the Broncos are still big ticket here in Brisbane, Estate. Broncos Warriors coming up very soon.
I reckon there's 3 at Lang Park. Spriggy's got one for Billy and Zano as well after his trip to the Ekka. I hope you enjoyed the fairy floss. Thank you, Spriggy, as we get back underway at Western Sydney Stadium. Parramatta kicking off towards the northern end of Western Sydney Stadium. The Cowboys with first use of the ball through Cohen Hess. 14 points to 12. Parramatta lead the Cowboys, with Cowboys 25 metres away from their own goal line. As we start this second half, John Bateman on the left-hand side. As we were looking through the stats at half-time, we realised that Kai O'Donnell was hooked after 24 minutes. He didn't even take a single carry. He didn't touch the ball. And John Bateman has gone over on that left edge. So North Queensland just looking to find something different. Griffin Neame had a really quiet first half as well. Only one carry, one hit up and one kick return as well. So quiet half for the front rower, who's been replaced by Tom McKaylee, as the kick goes downfield from North Queensland. It's taken by Josh Adokar about 15 away from his own goal line. Chase is decent as well, and he takes the tackle 12 away from his own goal line. Volkman goes into dummy half. He goes right. Sam Rani has taken 15 away from his own goal line, 20 in from the western touchline. Parramatta looking to upset the Cowboys here. North Queensland sitting in 8th spot at the moment. They could get 4 points clear air over the Bulldogs, and of course with a bye next week, that could be 6 points clear air in 8th spot. But at the moment they trail by 2 points, and Parramatta looking the more likely as well, it has to be said. Luca Moretti, strong carry, 11 away from halfway, plays it for De Silva. He goes short right for Moses to kick down the channel, and it's taken by Drinkwater, 5 away from his own goal line. Good return from Drinkwater as well, because he'll start this set almost 30 metres away from his own goal line, trailing 14 points to 12 after 2 in the second half.
Yeah, well, Matty Ellett spoke about what potentially Todd Payten had to say at halftime to his team, and they've started this second half with a lot more enthusiasm with the ball, the way they're carrying it, but also defensively, the line speed and their contact has certainly gone up a notch. So a good effect, whatever it was he said.
Yeah, 5 metres short of the halfway line on play 3. They go one off the ruck right-hand side, and they find themselves about 7 metres inside Parramatta's territory through Zach Labour. Plays the ball for Marnie, left-hand side for Cotter. Then the ball back on the inside from Clifford to Bateman. Bateman, the Englishman, goes completely without it, and it's picked up by Parramatta on the halfway line, and Williams plays the ball. So an error early in this set for the Cowboys. The Eels looking to make them pay as Pensany tries to find a way through on that far side, but he takes the tackle 30 away from the Cowboys line. They come back infield, and Luca Moretti has it, 25 away, 20 in from the eastern touchline. Attacking the line here now at the northern end. Moses goes left, and then Volkman changes direction. Good run from Sam Rani on the angle, 13 away from the goal line. De Silva goes short left out of dummy half. Volkman grabbing in behind. The Fox is there. Josh Adokar has gone 10 games without a try. He won't go 11. The Fox is over in the corner. Parramatta has the first try of the second half, perhaps against the run of play, but they extend their lead 18 points to 12 with a kick to come from the corner, 3.5 gone second half.
Yeah, well, no sooner had I gave them a rap for the intensity, or at least the energy they brought to this second half. The Cowboys come up with an error, a clumsy error. It was a sort of a weird pass from Clifford as he drifted across, and definitely not expected by John Bateman. Parramatta go straight on the attack. They get, once again, deep into Cowboys territory, and then this little play out of short side. Taylor De Silva, he's picked his moments well to run out of dummy half and deliver to his halves or to the first receivers. It's Volkman down the... watching the replay there. Gets downward pressure on that, but Volkman, great touch in behind the line, down a short side on the boot. Gives lots of time for Adokar to get through, and Braden Burns really couldn't do anything. He was up defending, couldn't turn around and chase back that kick.
Yeah, a lot of plaudits there for Volkman. A lovely little grubber in behind touchline, Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Dean, you described it perfectly. I thought North Queensland had come out of the second half, played with more rhythm than we'd seen from them in the whole game, but again, one error and Parramatta take advantage. Volkman, great touch.
Moses from a metre in from the western touchline moves in and hits this one. Is it gonna stay online? It hits the post. just draws a little too far. It doesn't hold its line. And Moses, who's now just 1 from 4 this afternoon, albeit from tough angles. So Parramatta could have been off and gone, if not for the goal kicking of Mitchell Moses. As it stands, they do lead by 18 points to 12. And Josh Adokar is now the 7th greatest try scorer in the history of the game. He was level with Andrew Eddingshausen, but he goes past ET. So the Fox is now the 7th on that all-time try-scoring list. Stumps in Darwin. Australia 4 for 161, trailing Bangladesh by 67 with 6 second innings wickets in hand. So heading into the 4th day, Australia with a lot to do in NRLW. Spriggy mentioned at halftime, great game at Lang Park with the Roosters leading the Broncos 18 points to 14 in the second half. Parramatta have the ball coming away from their own end through Katonga, and he'll take the tackle 17 away from his own line centre field. 5 con second half. That try, the only one so far after half time, as Luca Moretti has the ball for Parramatta 28 away from his line centre field. He'll get up and play the ball with Todd Smith, telling him to get back on the mark and play it, and for Marnie to clear the ruck. And then Luca Moretti takes a step forward. So not only does he not go back on the mark, he actually goes forward off the mark even further, and Todd Smith lets it go. Dylan Walker plays, I don't really care, but the referees are just, what's the point of blowing time off if you're not going to enforce it? Katonga plays the ball a metre short of halfway. They go right for Moses. He'll kick from inside his own territory, and they'll take the catch through Talangi 5 away from his own goal line. He'll return this one almost to the 20, about 19 away from his own goal line. 18 points to 12, Parramatta over the Cowboys, 5.5 gone second half.
Yeah, funny little interchange in back play. It was Reid Marnie putting some kick pressure on Mitch Moses. Got a bit of push and shove going, grabbing the jersey there. Mitch Moses just grabs the top of his headgear and drags him around in a circle. So Reid Marnie's still in the defensive line. The Eels, he's got the right.
Like almost a dog on a lead. They have the ball 5 short of the halfway line. The Cowboys through Hess. Plays the ball left-hand side. One off the ruck goes Drinkwater to kick on the last. Goes down to that right wing of Brian Kelly, and he returns it back into the centre of the park, where he takes the tackle about 28 away from his line and 17 in from the eastern touchline. There's plenty of Parramatta players slow to get back now. So even though we're only 6.5 minutes into the second half, there's hands on hips and some signs of fatigue there. Dylan Walker still not back behind the ruck, and now they come left-hand side for Josh Adokar, who's already got that try in the second half, and he's got some open space as well down the left touchline over the 30. He tries to put in the worst rubber kick of all time. It went about a metre. He chased it, he fell on it, and he knocked it forward. He's got a big smile on his face, the Fox, although slightly frustrated with himself. I'm not sure what he was trying to do. There were no chasers coming through for the grubber kick, but he was just trying to get away from the defenders coming through, and he completely mistimes it, and the North Queensland Cowboys get a scrum 20 away from their own goal line.
It was great to see actually the Fox back himself and go for that run, because we know how fast he is, but he hasn't really backed that speed with only a small amount of space around two guys that aren't slouches. You've got Braden Burns and Tom Chester. He puts a little bit of a stutter step on and then uses every bit of that 3 metre space that was between Burns and the sideline, and almost created something out of nothing there, Josh Adokar.
Roosters leading the Broncos 24-14 now in NRLW, late in that game, so it looks as though the Roosters will go on and win that one. A juggernaut, aren't they? 35 away from the line, getting up and playing the ball, 10 in from the eastern touchline. Now the Cowboys come back open side through Talangi, 4 short of halfway. He'll play the ball quickly for Marnie, dummy half. Then he comes one off the ruck right, continuing through the middle of the field. They get 6 again here, the Cowboys. They'll start it in good territory, 8 metres inside Parramatta territory through McKaylee. Get up and play the ball, and then one off the ruck right-hand side comes Cotter. He's 35. They might get another one here. No, they don't on this occasion. Marnie a couple of steps out of dummy half, then gets it away right-hand side for Cohen Hess. 25 away from the Parramatta goal line. He play the ball for Marnie, comes right again. They do get 6 again here, the Cowboys. So they missed out on one. They won't need it. Jackson Purdue has absolutely strolled through a yawning gap of Parramatta defenders and puts the ball down underneath the black dot for the Cowboys. 18 points to 16. They had the chance to level things up. 8.5 gone second half. That was way too easy for Jackson Purdue.
Yeah, a bit of poor discipline from the Eels. Consecutive 6 against for ruck infringements, but the footwork here from Jackson Purdue is magical. I know there was a big gap, but it was a gap that was created by a little in and away. He sort of starter steps again. They're talking about Josh Adokar creating something out of nothing. This was definitely something out of nothing for Purdue. The starter step, as I say, to get past the first line of defence. I think it was Tianka Brown who gets done in, gets his ankle sort of broken, and then he gets to Twaddle, slips over, cuts back off the right foot, and that acceleration and pace that we know he's got gets him across the line. This goal will go over, and it's hard to imagine that the Cowboys are an equally as good side as the Eels tonight. It's going to be 18 all.
Yeah, I mean, it should be 24-18 if Mitchell Moses kicked all his goals. They were tough positions, but I'll get down to Matty in just a moment because Scott Drinkwater won't take too long to, you'd assume, put this one over from 10 out right in front, and if he does miss, it's not me putting the mock on, it's just a bad kick. Drinkwater, he's actually taking his time. He just wants to make sure of this one because it is an important one at 18 points all. Flags go up. Matthew Elliott, touchline.
Yeah, that was amazing footwork. And Brown and Twaddle, my goodness, they should have taken selfies of Purdue as he went past them because they just didn't get near him at all. I'd like to say it was terrible defence. It was more amazing footwork. And I just want to back the ref up about putting those players back in. I've just picked up what he's holding them up for. It's the attacking player getting to his feet and grabbing hold of the marker and pulling them in close to them, which is a bit of a little bit of a tactic that teams are trying to utilise at the moment. So it's not the ref's fault.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Todd Smith. I take it back. Well picked up then. Thank you, Matthew, and thank you, Todd Smith. Mark in Coffs gives a shout out to my cheese and kisses. Hello, Jody. Mark says, love you, darling. So out on the full from the restart. Burns has done really well there because he puts the foot over the touchline, stretches out, takes the catch, and the Cowboys will get the ball on the halfway line through a penalty after the try. He stretched a long way there, Braden Burns.
Yeah, great play from Braden. But just watching Twaddle after he kicked that as well, it looked like he might have strained something or he hit the deck really quickly, but it seems to be a bit of a cramp. So we've seen a few injuries from kicks of late, and Twaddle almost coming up with one there himself.
Thanks, Riverina Rooster. Winners in Group 9, Round 15. Tamora over Albury, Gundagai over Young, and Wagga Kangaroos over Cootamundra. Thank you for that text message. The Cowboys are 19 away from Parramatta's line. They go one off the ruck left for McKaylee. He straightens towards the post. He's 10.5 away from the line, centre field held up in the tackle. 18-point ball game. Left-hand side they come. Drinkwater gets it away. Clifford holds onto the ball held up in the tackle and put to ground 4 away from the line. He thought about the offloaders for a moment, but decided against it. Marnie gets the pass away to Clifford. McKaylee almost finds a way through. 4 away from the line, centre field. Marnie out of dummy half. Short ball for Ruben Cotter. They score. Parramatta's defence is unravelling slightly here. Ruben Cotter close to the line. Absolutely bulldozing his way over. His third of the season. Back-to-back tries for the Cowboys. They lead 22 points to 18 with a kick to come. 28 to go.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the rhythm in that set from the Cowboys. They really had some good set plays and some really nice passes. McKaylee on a lead run back at the post. A pass from Drinkwater, a nice and flat one into the line. He gets up and plays the ball quickly, and then Reid May recognises the space around the ruck. He's got a quick play the ball and a really hard running Ruben Cotter. So he gets straight out, finds a short pass. It's soft enough and straight in front that Cotter doesn't get the pressure catch, and the defence there for the Eels, there was little they could do to get in front. I think if they put their body in the line a bit more, they can probably do a better job at stopping that.
Touchline, Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, well, that's Reid Barney's third chance of scoring tries. He's come up with 2 out of 3. Cohen Hess couldn't get the ball down, but he's showing he's got such deception around that ruck close to the line, and they've obviously targeted the Parramatta middle third there.
Drinkwater from right in front. 22 points to 18. The scoreboard doesn't like it because they haven't given them the extra 4 points. They've got to give them an extra 6 now because Drinkwater adds the extras. It is 24 points to 18 with 27 to go. The Cowboys leading for the first time in this one after the very first try. That was the only time that they'd led And now they are back in front with 27 minutes to go. 0467920222. Plenty of texters coming in from the cricket as well. After that day's play where the Australians are 4 for 161 at stumps, trailing by 67. Good to have you, Dan, in Broome. Just changed over. How good is dry season cricket? Hoping the Wars can make the finals interesting this year. And go you Dragons tomorrow. Thank you very much for that one. Yeah, the Warriors in action next against the Brisbane Broncos. Brett Sprigg, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack on the call. So don't go anywhere here on ABC Sport. A big day of NRL Saturday. Elam Lukey, who spent time in the bin in the first half. He's on report as well. Takes the tackle 27 away from the line. Left-hand side through the hands of Drinkwater and Clifford. It ends up with Murray Taulungi, who takes the tackle 10 short of Parramatta's of the halfway line. And the Cowboys really getting a roll on now. Parramatta massively on the back foot. Cohen Hess is 6 metres inside Parramatta territory. Plays the ball quickly for Marnie. It's all North Queensland at the moment, as Purdue will probably take the tackle here because Lukey ran the line. Purdue does take the tackle. 10 inside Parramatta's half. Final play. Marnie's at dummy half, left-hand side Drinkwater, gets it away, Clifford kicking on the run down that left channel, chasers are coming through, Kelly steadies himself, takes it comfortably, then he gets past Clifford, still going across the 10-metre line, crabbing across up towards the 20 now, and he's 25 away from his own line before Brian Kelly's ultimately brought to ground by Lukey. They continue one off the ruck left-hand side, muscling up in defence the Parramatta or the North Queensland Cowboys to stop Jordan Samrani in his tracks. Now they come back out to the right-hand side, and it's Josh Adokar, one off the ruck over the 30-metre line. Takes it 20 in from the western touchline. Through their hands quickly. Showing it. Going is Moses through a gap. Really well done from Mitchell Moses. The New South Wales half is over halfway, 40 and 30. Back on the inside up. It's Whittle, 10 away from the line. And the Cowboys finally scramble and bring him to ground. Quick play the ball though to Silver out at dummy half. Goes himself and he scores, does he? The Parramatta fans at the northern end think so. Todd Smith doesn't.
I don't think.
He's going upstairs. Is there a grounding, Todd? Can't hear Todd at the moment. I think I saw his mouth, if I'm a lip reader, said the grounding.
I don't think Talon De Silva's confident he got this down here. His head in his hands, lying on the ground there. So,
well, the fans were
Ruben Cotter's been identified as offside here.
Here's Grant Atkins. So it could come back for a penalty anyway if there's a knock on. Cotter certainly gets involved. Goes to make the tackle there. So this will be at least a penalty to Parramatta. De Silva loses the ball over the line, doesn't he? For sure. So I think we'll come back probably for a Parramatta penalty here for Ruben Cotter being in an offside
assessing
position.
whether Ruben Cotter's actions are professional foul
if he goes
or penalty try.
Kind of depends whether he's getting called out by Todd Smith as well, doesn't it? Like,
he's got to obviously get to the line because the play the ball's past the 10 metres. He doesn't get to the line.
He knows what he's doing.
The markers are not square at this stage either.
We've got everywhere.
Ruben Cotter is there right at the line. He's the initial defender.
So I think Ruben Cotter might go to the bin based on
the ground. Go a penalty try?
Well, if he loses the ball...
The ball is knocked on. In our opinion, a try would have been scored had it not been
penalty
for
try.
The offside play.
It's a penalty try to Parramatta. Ruben Cotter has given away a penalty try. So Mitchell Moses will have the conversion from right in front. And it is Talon De Silva out of dummy half who would have got there if not for Ruben Cotter, Dino.
Yeah, well, the arms were across the line and obviously there's a mistake. There's some questions coming from Scott Drinkwater right here, and I think Drinkwater's argument is that he was in proximity and he was onside, so how could it be a penalty try? But you know, if not for the involvement of Cotter, you would have thought there was a cleaner line, a cleaner run to the line from Talon De Silva. And go all the way back to the start, just watching again the big screen. Mitch Moses, Matty Ellett mentioned about him running the ball, and he does a great job here to get them downfield.
The way he pumped, and then drew two defenders in and opened up the gap. He's right in front now and he makes no mistake. So it is 24 points all again. We're locked up at Western Sydney Stadium. And Matthew Elliott on the touchline. Scott Drinkwater was complaining that he might have got there, but he basically only touched De Silva as he was already on the ground.
Yeah, well, it's very hard to argue against what the referee or even the bunker came up with there, but Mitch Moses there was the creator of that opportunity, and wasn't just the break, it was how quickly he got to his feet after being tackled. So Parramatta back in the game.
Roosters have scored another try and missed a goal. You score, we score in the NRLW. Roosters 28, Broncos 20 late in that one. Thank you, Marilyn and Q, for keeping us up to date for those. Is this a joke? He dropped the ball. Well, they weren't awarded the try. That would have been a possible 8-point try if he scored it. It was a penalty try, and it's a penalty because Ruben Cotter, in the act of scoring the try, was in the act of defending the try, was in an offside position. So this game over 2 legs this season, we've had a penalty try and a penalty field goal. Of course, the 33-30 in Townsville earlier in the season. So one for the historians there. I'm sure David Middleton will be happy with those stats as Kautonga plays the ball 21 away from the line in centre field. One off the ruck right-hand side, Junior Palo, and he has it 27 away from his own goal line, 20 in from the eastern touchline. De Silva at dummy half. He goes short right-hand side, and Jack Williams is held up in the tackle, 35 away from his own goal line. So 25 to go, and it's 24 points all. Parramatta and the Cowboys as Sam Rani tries to find a way through, almost breaks the tackle, takes it 3 metres inside his own territory. Final play, Moses kicks deep. Waiting for it is Tal Lungi, about 5 away from his own goal line and 15 in from the eastern touchline. Back into the centre of the park, and he'll start this set for the Cowboys. 21 away from his own goal line. NRL Saturday on ABC Sport with Matthew Elliott, Dean Hallertau and Glenn Lauder. 0467 920 222 is the text line if you want to get in touch as they play the ball through Burns, 30 away from their own line. Changing direction is Chester, and then he takes the tackle back in the traffic about 35 away from his line. No one wanted a dummy half. Drinkwater ended up picking it up from another teammate and then gets to within 3 of halfway centre field. A little bit rattlers here, the Cowboys. They started that second half pretty well. They scored 2 quick tries and they've just let Parramatta back in it. A couple of dodgy passes there. They were all backwards, I think, even though the Parramatta fans weren't too happy. And Clifford will play the ball 29 away from Parramatta's line. Final play, Purdue runs, gets the ball back on the inside. Clifford desperately tries to get the pass away on the last. They're running into each other here, the Cowboys. Purdue will grubber over to the left-hand side. Bounces for Taulagi. He can see the line. There's Parramatta players coming. Cotter, the referee's in the way. They'll kick again. Clifford across field for Braden Burns. He's got one in front of him. The flick pass out the back. Try of the season. Tom Chester in the corner. A couple of kicks, a couple of flick passes. It goes through about 400 sets of hands, and the Cowboys score an amazing try to lead 28 points to 24 with a kick to come and 22 and a half to go.
Yeah, desperation type football last play there from the Cowboys, and they take on a short side. Purdue, who's really grown in the second half, he sees a space in behind the line. He gets the ball away to his halves partner there in Jake Clifford. He dishes one out the back, and then it's just all the way out to the left-hand side of the field. A kick in behind Taulagi. I thought he was going to go all the way himself. He keeps it alive. There's about 3 one-hander passes in there as well. And then John Bateman with a bit of the English round ball skills there. Pops one over the top into the corner. And great work from the Cowboys.
I think there were 3 flick passes in there. At one stage, Bateman and Drinkwater almost tackle each other. A great kick over the top from Bateman. Matthew Elliott, that is incredible.
I'd like to actually use a quote of one of our colleagues, Connor Watson. Wow. Wow. That was insane to watch. It just shows a reminder to us all of the strike and the talent and the ability that this North Queensland side have. But I think that they're disputing about a knock on that collision. They're saying that might have been knocked on into another player.
Oh, Grant Atkins, you can't do it to us. Is it where we have the contact between Bateman and Drinkwater?
Yeah, I think that's the question.
Yeah. Grant, come on, be a good sport. We can't have the best try ever chalked off.
He's running.
Yep. Touch judge has gone under, so try confirmed. Drinkwater from the touchline. Take it, curl it back in on the left foot. And after one of the great tries you'll ever see. An outstanding kick from the touchline. Lovely bit of curl on it. And the Cowboys back in front. 30 points to 24 at Western Sydney Stadium. What an absolute cracking try that was for the North Queensland Cowboys. The Roosters kicking clear in the NRLW. 34 points to 20 second half. Half-time Queensland Cup. Mackay leading Townsville 12-10. Full-time in the AFL, Geelong's beaten North 125 to 110, and Brisbane's beaten the Gold Coast 95-53. While in the AFLW, Richmond's beaten Collingwood 46-28. Stumps in the Cricket Australia, trailing by 67. Second innings wickets in hand. Thanks, Grimesy, try of the year. Thanks, Martino, appreciate that as well. Sandy and Stretch in Umungary, thank you for your text message. A shout out to Little Para. So quite a few Eels fans out there. Appreciate your text messages as well. 04679200TTT. Thanks to Ted in Ballina as well for your text message, and Sussex Phil as the Cowboys. After what about that? What can they come up with here? They're 30 metres away from their own goal line. Bateman will play it. Highly influential in that last try to Chester. They had the ball through Cotter. He's about 13 metres away from the halfway line in centre field. 30 points to 24, the Cowboys lead, with a real opportunity to really consolidate their spot in the top 8. You'd have to say just about confirm it with Drinkwater kicking on the run on halfway. Twiddle comes across, takes the catch, 5 in from the western touchline and 15 away from his own goal line, and he takes the tackle. 20 away now with quarter of this game left. Parramatta trailing 30-24, and Twiddle stays down after that tackle of Lukey and also Braden Burns, Dino.
Yeah, well, we know Healan Luke is already in trouble this evening with the high tackle in the first half. He seems to be the man right at the front of this tackle. I haven't seen a replay yet, but Upper Twiddle, I should say, is not happy. They're making him move to play the ball across, so nothing untoward from the bunker.
Touchline, Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything in it either, so they're playing on. But again, that was a great set after points by the Cowboys. Probably one of their most constructive yardage sets of the night.
Parramatta coming away from their own end through Junior Parlaw, 30 metres away from his own goal line. Play 3, he'll get up and play the ball, and they'll go right to Moses waiting for it. On it goes for Kelly, and Brian Kelly is about 11 short of the halfway line, 15 in from the eastern touchline. That's the way they go, short side. Moses comes back into traffic and then takes the tackle 3 short of halfway. They come left for Volkman on the last to kick. That's another deep one that sends winger over on that far side, Burns back, and he takes the catch and pass across field for Drinkwater, trying to find a way through, and Drinkwater will take the tackle 10 away from the goal line. Now we've got that HIA. It's going to be, is it Upper Twiddle after that tackle at the other end of the field, Dino?
Yeah, so the independent doctors come in here and ask for him to be removed. Still haven't seen a replay. He looks like he just runs directly into the shoulder there of Braden Burns, who's just standing there. So I'm guessing that's why it wasn't deemed a high shot. He's just standing and waiting.
Yeah, Twiddle is the one that initiates the contact, isn't he? He runs,
butted his shoulder.
Yeah, runs straight into him. Allison's on her way to Bundaberg for Sunshine Coast and loving the coverage. Zach from Gundagai up the Parramatta and the Tumut Bulls. Go the Stockman from North Queensland. And we can't go previous form or position on the ladder this year. Anything can happen. Crazy, certainly can. That's why we love it. As the Cowboys, and Griffin Neem is back on the park now, has the ball 15 short of the halfway line. A rare carry for him tonight. Plays it, and they go one off the ruck left-hand side for a fresh Jason Tamalolo as well. The big man on for the last 18 and a half minutes, and also a change at dummy half with Sonny Luke on at that hour or so that we've seen of Reid Marnie. Scored a try against his former club as well. He's played around about an hour over the last few weeks as well as Reid Marnie, so no surprise there. Brian Kelly 20 away from his own goal line, getting up and playing the ball as they come open side left. They have 25 away from their own goal line here, Parramatta. Still plenty of footy to go, 18 minutes and only 6 points the difference, the Cowboys and the Eels. It would be level as well. Mitchell Moses kicking 2 from 5 tonight, so those 3 conversions could potentially come back to bite Parramatta. They are trailing by 6. They have it on halfway. They go right out of dummy half. Getting up over the halfway line and taking the tackle is Saxon Pryke, making his starting debut tonight. Plays at 10 inside Cowboys territory on the last. Moses goes high in the air. Talungi's there, but no one wants it. It comes off the boot in the end of Will Benson. He's still the last. They spin it long left-hand side. Sean Russell is on the park, gets it away to Jordan Samrani, who scores in the corner, and it is going to be another Parramatta try. 30 points to 28 with a kick to come from the corner, and it is almost you score, we score, you score, we score. What a game that we have got in the mid-game on NRL Saturday this afternoon. Cowboys 30, Parra 28 with a kick to come.
Yeah, once again, the Cowboys let the ball come down off the high kick. They don't challenge it. It's a fair way off their line, so they let the Eels have the first play with it. It's a bit of a messy one. It comes off the boot and shot straight back to Junior Bolo, who comes up with a huge cutout pass to his left, and then Russell, simple draw and pass on the outside. Lots of cover coming across. Look there, be careful for Scott Drinkwater. He doesn't really attempt to make a tackle. He just runs straight across the body there of Samrani, who manages to get the ball down and put the Eels back within range as Mitch Moses kick from the sideline. You wouldn't back it in the way he's kicking tonight.
Touchline, Matthew Elliott.
Am I having deja vu? Kick the ball to the right-hand corner and they will let it bounce. And then just get ready to get the ball back and we'll score. My goodness. Seriously, that is a poor approach to, finishing the set defensively after what was a pretty good defensive set.
Murray Taulagi was 80-20 to win that ball, and then he just backed out of it. He didn't go anywhere near it as Mitchell Moses slots it, Dino.
Reverse knockdown.
From the touchline, he's 3 from 6 tonight, and Parramatta are level again at 30 points apiece. 15 and a half to go. This could be another 80-point game here at Western Sydney Stadium with 15 and a half to go.
Do you reckon we could see a penalty field goal?
Oh, how good.
Finish the game. That would be
that was 30 all as well, wasn't it? Before the field goal. 0467920222. Thank you for your text messages. Is Bolo leaving? He's still got another year. He's contracted until 27, and then he's got an option for 28 as well. So I think the Bears would have liked him. He chatted to the Bears, but I don't think they were going to pay the sort of 900 or so thousand that he was after. So it might have been a bit of talk about Perth Bears, but at the moment it looks like he'll stay at Parramatta for the rest of his contract. Thank you for your text message. Go the Cowboys, great call team. Oh no, as I type this, no way. Parramatta score. Thank you, Brian, in far north Queensland. Parramatta have the ball and they've got the fans behind them as well. Play 3, 21 away from their own goal line. Centre field, Pryke plays it. One off the ruck, right-hand side for Barlaw. He takes the tackle 31 away from his own line. Silver at dummy half, right-hand side Moses, and then the pass goes on. Williams can't find a way through, so he gets up and plays it on the last. Moses will kick deep from just inside his own half, goes down to almost the 10-metre line where Braden Burns is waiting for it, and he returns back up almost to the 30-metre line. So we'll start this set 20 in from the western touchline. Going to dummy half is Purdue, and then gets the ball away for Chester, and Chester is met in a strong tackle, 11 short of the halfway line. He plays the ball for Purdue, and Drinkwater is whacked by Barlaw. He gets up quickly and plays the ball though, Drinkwater, so no harm done. And now Tamalolo up towards the halfway line. We'll play at 23 in from the eastern touchline. They come back open side. Right, Griffin Neame is whacked again by Barlaw. So what a defensive set the Parramatta front row is having. And now Clifford puts the high kick up on the last from inside Parramatta's territory. Braden Burns almost picked the pocket of Russell. It might have gone forward. They're going to score the try here, Chester. Dean Hallertau wants to point to the spot. I reckon the ball was lost by Sean Russell in the contest. What does Todd Smith think?
Yeah, he's called it a knock-on by the Cowboys. I thought it maybe was backwards by Braden Burns coming through in the contest. He had his back facing the try line.
I'll talk to him.
So might be one of those ones where he drags the ball into his body and then hits him around after that.
Yeah, Braden Burns is the player that I thought it was a knock-on from.
It's knock on from Braden Burns.
Yeah, he picks it out of Sean Russell's grasp, and I thought he did go forward from Braden Burns, and the referee thought the same, and he's gone up to Grant Atkins, and that will be no try. But once again, both teams are really trying to get a hit in this one. Matthew Elliott, still plenty of footy to go.
Yeah, definitely. But there's, again, just to make my point, not to be too repetitious, at least when you compete for the ball, you're likely to come up with a result that's helpful, and it certainly slows the play down enough for you to get that result.
Paul in Bonville has sent us a photo of him sitting around the bonfire, listening to great commentary of the footy. That looks like a great evening. Thank you, Paul, for having us alongside you by the bonfire. Junior Barlaw, who just made two absolutely massive tackles, takes a decent hit up as well, 10 short of the halfway line. He plays the ball and they go right-hand side. It ends up with Josh Adokar. He splits the line, still going Josh Adokar over the 40-30, and he's 26 away from the line before he's finally brought to ground. Gets to play the ball. Left-hand side, Moses is the first receiver. Luca Moretti goes straight and hard. 16 away from the goal line. Gets up and plays the ball for Graham, dummy half. Left-hand side, Volkman grubbing in behind the line. Russell will have to come back and respond here. He does. Sean Russell does well to stop the runaway there from Braden Burns after the grubber was picked up nicely by the Cowboys winger. They play the ball 20 away from their own line. The Cowboys spinning it left-hand side now, and they are 23 away in centre field. Trying to make something happen with 11 and a half minutes to go. Which team will break? Will we go to extra time? They had the ball through Chester. It happened in Townsville earlier in the season. That was 30 all as well. Here we are again, 11 minutes to go. Taumalolo on the last, 13 metres away from the halfway line. Parramatta out quick, trying to block the kick of Clifford, but he gets a deep spiralling one down there. Well taken by Kelly on his own 20-metre line. A goose step, and then he can't get past the chase of Labert over on the far side. He takes the tackle 8 short of halfway. Parramatta fans thought they were too slow to get off. Todd Smith thought it was okay. I thought it was okay as well. And Parramatta are 3 metres inside Cowboys territory. Get up and play the ball over on the far side by Pentony. Now left-hand side they come through Jack Williams. Williams is 13 inside Cowboys half, and he has to play the ball in centre field as they come left. Volkman will change direction for Katonga. He goes crabbing from left to right, and then he takes the tackle. Neem and one other, 29 away in centre field. Graham 3 steps out of dummy half, gets it away to Saxon Pryke, and Pryke is still going. Good post contact here, still going. He's only 5 away from the goal line. He made about 12 post contact. Graham dummy half, right for Moses, kicking to the corner of Kelly. Oh, what a catch by Talangi. He'll get the penalty as well because he was taken in midair by Brian Kelly flying through. Talangi's not well on the ground. He does get up slowly. Beautiful take under heavy pressure, and they get a really, really relieving penalty here, a metre away from their own goal line with a 30-point ball game and 9 minutes 50 to go.
Yeah, well, Matty, it's made the point a few times about contesting the ball. This one's closer to the line, so Talangi knows he has to have a crack at it, or else he's risking a try in the air over the line. So he gets contacted as he's coming down. It gives a penalty to his team, and they'll need this. The Cowboys, the last set defensively that the Parramatta Eels had, they were able to restrict the Cowboys to only 40 metres or so, and it really put them in a good position when they got the ball back.
Yeah, this is a good one for the historians. Surely this must be a record. The same two teams both scoring 30 or more against each other twice in the same season, says Paul in Kashula. We'll get Andrew Ferguson or Dave Middleton to check the archives for that one. It's a good point. Jason Taumalolo, 31 away from the line. 9 minutes to go. There could be plenty more points as well. Griffin Neem runs straight and hard. 10 short of the halfway line. Centre field plays the ball. They come right, one off the ruck, Drinkwater. Gets it away to Purdue. Takes it to the line. Doesn't pass. Takes the tackle. 3 inside Parramatta territory. He'll play the ball, Sonny Luke. Left-hand side, Drinkwater first receiver again. Clifford dummies left, goes right almost through a hole, but he's tackled 36 away from Parramatta's line on the last. Right-hand side, Drinkwater at first receiver, kicking again on the run. Burns coming through, chasing. Good take, Sean Russell. He almost gets past his man, but Helam Lukey recovers really well and brings Russell down. Here's Jordan Samrani coming in off that left centre position and crabbing across through the middle. Takes the tackle 5 short of halfway. Graham dummy half, right from Moses. Gets it away, Brian Kelly. Kelly bounces away from one, but Labour goes again and then takes him down on the halfway line with the help of Griffin Knee. 8 minutes to go. Kelly's a little bit worse for wear as well, but I think it's probably just the grind of the last 72 minutes or so as he jogs back to his wing while they play the ball through Pryke, 10 inside Cowboys territory. Right-hand side they go. Volkman dummies, then takes the tackle, 30 away from the Cowboys line. Graham out at dummy half, goes short right for Moses. Chasing through is Benson. He goes up. It bounces again. Falls for him. He knocks it forward over the dead ball line. It'll be a 20-metre restart, although the knock-on, it doesn't matter. The knock-on was in the field of play. So it is going to be a play the ball 10 away from the goal line. Not a 20-metre restart because the knock-on happened in the field of play, not in the in goal. 7.5 to go. Parramatta and the Cowboys locked at 30 all.
Yeah, it's an important difference, isn't it, for the Parramatta Eels from a defensive point of view, because it's only 6 tackles and the Cowboys coming out of their own end have been made to earn the metres in the last few sets.
Cowboys 21 away from their own line. A few texts coming through. I'll try to get to them as we go, but this is enthralling at the moment. 30 points apiece, 7 to go. The Cowboys coming away from their own end. Tamalolo over the 40-metre line. It's 9 short of halfway on play 3. Gets up and plays it for Sonny Luke. Left-hand side, Bateman. John Bateman is 4 inside Parramatta territory on the last. He'll play the ball 10 inside the eastern touchline. Right for Clifford, first receiver. Kicks on the run. High bomb up. Addo Carr's there waiting. Takes it well. And falls on his backside and then takes the tackle 16 away from his own goal line and 20 in from the eastern touchline. What a game here. Mitchell Moses, 3 conversions. Cooper coming back to haunt Parramatta. They would be leading 36-30 if he was unblemished off the boot, but they were tough ones from the touchline. As it is, it's 30 points all. Parramatta 6 tries to 5, and they've got the ball at the moment, the home side. They have it 33 away from their own goal line in centre field. Getting up slowly and playing the ball is Graham. Now left-hand side with De Silva back on the park. So Graham going into the middle. Kick is decent. It was almost a 40-20, but it sits up beautifully for Scott Drinkwater. It just sits on the wet grass, and Drinkwater can pick it up, thankfully, about half a metre in from the western touchline. He plays it on the 20. They come left now. Taulagi dummies goes himself, and he'll take the tackle still on the 20-metre line, but about 30 across field. Centre field he is now, and Upa Twiddle is going off, so we'll see a reshuffle. Yeah, Josh Addo-Carr's gone back to fullback. He took that last bomb as well, so that reshuffle was in place a minute or so ago. But Upper Twiddle straight up the tunnel, and we've got John Bateman with the ball 30 away from the line in centre field. So Sonny Luke is trying to get the markers offside. He was pushing Junior Barlow all the way to the advantage line, and then he takes the tackle 10 short of halfway. Final play, Clifford kicking on the run again. A high midfield bomb with plenty of chasers coming through. Cohen Hess just stared at Brian Kelly and said, "I dare you to catch it." Kelly let it bounce, and it goes up to Benson on the 30-metre line. 5 to go. It's 30 all, Dina.
Yeah, that was a skyrocket, that one there from Jake Clifford, and let to bounce by Brian Kelly. He's been really safe tonight. It's odd for him to let that one go. He's been one of the best for the Eels in terms of his carries from the backfield and just the work that he's been doing to get his team moving forward.
So Parramatta are 3 short of the halfway line, and now they find themselves inside Cowboys territory through Pryke. They'll play the ball about 11 inside North Queensland's half. Left-hand side, De Silva out of dummy half for Harrison Graham. And Graham finds himself 23 away from the Cowboys line in centre field. He wants a penalty here. Well, we spoke about Mitchell Moses milking earlier. That one was a dive of World Cup epic proportions. Moses, the ankle tap. He thought about the field goal, but he ran himself. What about the ankle tap from Helam Lukey to not only stop Mitchell Moses, but force the knock-on as well? Parramatta's going to challenge this one. I'm not sure why.
Well, you see, he doesn't think that he knocked it on, but it'll end up being a mutual infringement if it's, because he blows his whistle. It's last play. So we'll have to go all. I think it's a knock-on anyway.
He's claiming high contact.
Oh, he's claiming high contact, sorry. So he's saying it's a penalty.
Well, he's already lost the ball.
Just looking for foul play.
So he has already lost the ball, but Tom Chester comes over the top. Moses is on the ground at this point, by the way, sliding on his tummy. And
we acknowledge that there's a knock-on by Parramatta. The high tackle from Tom Chester is a major foul. That will be the penalty.
So they will come back for Parramatta penalty with 4 minutes to go. And this penalty will be 20 metres out and 20 in from the western touchline for Parramatta to go ahead on the last tackle.
Again, Ruben Cotter's into the referee here saying he lost the ball, but you can't ignore foul play.
Yeah.
That's the issue here. And deemed by the bunker as significant enough to warrant a penalty.
So 6 minutes to go, I beg your pardon. And the penalty is going to Mitchell Moses. Chester is on report, and they take the two touchline Matthew Elliott.
Yeah, I think that's a tough call. You know what Chester was doing there? He was actually playing at the ball when it came out of Moses' hands. He was swiping at the ball, and he hit Moses, who was on the ground. Let's remember that. He was flat on the ground, and he tried to shovel the ball out. He played at the ball. That's how it looked to me. So it's a penalty, but it's such a tough call.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Thank you, Matthew. It is going down in the history books as a penalty to Parramatta. Can they win in not unfamiliar circumstances to the last time these two teams played? Of course, a penalty field goal when Ronald Volkman was taken out of play. And Mitchell Moses will give them a 2-point lead with 5 minutes to go at Western Sydney Stadium. What a thriller we have had this evening. 0467 920 222. Great call this evening, Tom from Lutwich. Can you ask to check whether Todd Payton and Jason Riles ever had a 30-all draw when playing against each other, as well as coaching head-to-head? Thank you, Tom. Para looked the most likely to score with good metre gains. Thank you, Daniel in Newcastle. Thank you to the gear steward as always. Jared from Maroochydore again. I meant Parramatta lower me into the ground when I died, so they can let me down one last time. Well, they're not going to do it at the moment, Jared. They're leading 32-30. Great call as always, team. Got to love the last month or so. Come on, mighty Eels. I might come back to that one if we've got time about a player. Thank you to Michael and Wendy from Drummoyne, just coming back from a 10-pin bowling comp. Thank you for that one. Hands down the most entertaining game this year. Great call. Enjoyed every moment so far. From the Chin, great to hear from you, Chin. Appreciate your text messages. Parramatta had the ball on play 2. Junior Barlaw now takes it up over the 20-metre line. Incidentally, full time in that NRLW game as well. The Roosters beating the Broncos 34 points to 20. We are off to Lang Park next for the Broncos and the Warriors with Brett Sprigg, Billy Moore and Zane Bojack. Parramatta had the ball 40 away from their own line, so 10 short of the halfway line. 3:40 to go. Saxon Pryke gets up and plays the ball. De Silva out of dummy half for Moses on the last to kick deep. Taulungi does take this one with plenty of time. 5 metres away from his own goal line and then returns it up over the 20, running into some good contacts from Harrison Graham. And he'll play it 30 away from his own line after being thrown down on his back. They come a long ball right out of dummy half from Sonny Luke. It ends up with Purdue, and he goes over the 30-metre line with Jordan Samrani in close tow. Plays the ball for Drinkwater at dummy half. Left-hand side, one off the ruck to Chester. And Chester's 13 in his own side of halfway. Plays it for Braden Burns, going himself out of dummy half. The bigger body's getting a little bit of a break as the outside backs do the work. Sonny Luke out of dummy half, comes back right now for McKaylee. He's had a good game, Tom McKaylee for the Cowboys, and that's another good run. 15 or 16 metres there from the former West Tiger. Plays the ball for Luke. Now they'll go for the 2-point field goal, but it's charged down Drinkwater from 5 metres inside Parramatta territory. They'll get 6 again, the Cowboys. They've had to go a long way back through Cohen Hess to pick it up. So they're back inside their own half. They do have another full set here, though. Left-hand side they go. Purdue gets it away for Bateman. The one-on-one strip from Brian Kelly. He can't get it off the Englishman. He goes back to the ground looking for a penalty as well there, John Bateman. No one was touching him. And he gets up and plays the ball. They come back right. Ruben Cotter has it. They're setting up again here. I think they might be, because Cotter takes the tackle on the 40-metre line. Luke scoots out of dummy half, straight down the middle. We've got 2 minutes to go. Parramatta leading 32-30. It goes back to Drinkwater now. He was still on his heels as he tried to get the kick away. It's charged down again by De Silva, picked up by Mitchell Moses. De Silva does beautifully. Drinkwater wasn't in position He must have known that it was going to happen, and Drinkwater was still getting back behind the 40-metre line. De Silva does really well, and Moses picks it up. Meanwhile, Junior Parlor's gone off over the dead ball line in a bit of difficulty. We'll keep an eye on his injury. They've got another interchange left, Parramatta. They might have just used their last one, so I think they've got away with it there because Duncan Brown is back on the field. Parramatta had the ball with 1:28 to go, 5 metres inside North Queensland's territory. They go to the right-hand side. Pensany has it, 35 away from the line, leading by 2 points. The Cowboys need to find something here. They want to be in the 8 at the end of the season. They need to keep picking up points. They've got the bye next week, but they need really love to go in there with a 2-point win or with 2 points tonight. Final play, Moses kicks it. It's knocked on, is it, by Taulagi? No, it's gone backwards, says the referee. That's definitely knocked on by Drinkwater, and Parramatta will go on to win this game. There is 55 seconds left. They are 11 metres away from the Cowboys line. With a full set, it'll be the slowest set in the history of rugby league, and they have the ball 8 metres away from the goal line now through Brown. 40 seconds to go. Wow, what a roller coaster we have had at Western Sydney Stadium tonight. It has been incredible. Josh Adokar, usually he'd be trying to find his way to the line there. This time he's just waiting for them to tackle him. 25 seconds to go. Keone Kartonga takes the tackle almost exactly the same place as Josh Adokar did. Parramatta started this game really well. They let the first try in to Reid Marnie after 10 minutes. They hit back. It's been seesawing ever since. 5 seconds to go. Ronald Volkman I thought he was going to kick it. I was going to go, what are you doing, Ronald? But he takes the tackle, and that wraps it up. Parramatta, Josh Adokar standing there like a statue. He can't believe that they've got away with this one. 32 points to 30. It's been an epic contest. It hasn't always been pretty. It's been scrappy at times. But both teams have been expansive, and Parramatta have come up with the chocolates here to maybe, just maybe, put a dent in the Cowboys' finals aspirations. They do still have that 2-point advantage over Canterbury with a bye to come next week. But it is the Eels night on Parramatta land in Indigenous round. 32 points to 30, Tino, over the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, what a chaotic game, wasn't it? Particularly that last 5 minutes there, and the Cowboys' desperation went up, but the frantic nature of that period just meant that they couldn't get themselves in a good position. One, you talk about the Drinkwater attempted drop goal where he was nowhere where he needed to be. The pressure coming from the Eels was what shut it down. But yeah, throughout the game, it ebbed and flowed, end-to-end sort of stuff. Lots of expansive play, as you said. Probably the try of the season so far to the Cowboys. It was an epic game, and it started bizarre. It had moments of brilliance, and then it finished in an awkward way as well. So both teams will be feeling very sore and sorry. As you said, an important one for the Cowboys leading into the bye that they would love to have got. But for the Parramatta Eels, in what's been a difficult season, they'll be proud of that effort to stick with the Cowboys throughout the game, to be dominant for the majority and to come away with the win.
Yeah, and 33-30 in Townsville, 32-30 this evening. Quite remarkable how close these two teams have been this season. Upper Twiddle's back on the field as well after going off for the last few minutes or so. Matthew Elliott is down there right amongst all the action. We'll get down to Matthew in just a few moments for some immediate reaction post-game here. But the Parramatta Eels and the Cowboys, as we have a look at some of those statistics at the end of the game, 52-48 possession. The Cowboys completing at 92% and Parramatta completing at 86%. So really high quality there in terms of their completions, and really similar when it comes to things like run meters and passing as well. So a really even game. I'm still trying to keep an eye on Matthew. We'll get down to him in just a moment now. Is he being brushed by Ronald Volkman? No, he's not. Of course Matthew's not being brushed. Let's get down to him now.
Just with Ronald Volkman, mate, I guess out of many games this year, you've been in the fight so often but haven't come away with the points. That must be very satisfying.
Yeah, definitely. Games like those, when you're playing against a team like the Cowboys who are fighting for that top 8 spot, they're just as desperate as we are to get that win. So for us boys tonight, there's a lot of players out there who showed fight and effort, and that's what got us over the line tonight.
And what about yourself? How did you feel like you played today?
Nah, with myself, I just fall off the back of. Our back line, our back five get us out of our red zone pretty good, so it makes my job a lot easier. So yeah, it's all on them.
Yeah, I think your kicking game was pretty good, especially that kick for the try there. It must be very satisfying.
Yeah. Shout out to my assistant coach, Nathan Brown. He's been helping me a lot with my last play kicking, especially on the left foot. So yeah.
Well, it's really good to see you guys get the result after so many close games.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully we get a few more to finish the year.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Matthew. Well done, Ronald Volkman. Great performance. While we're waiting for another player, Dean Hallertau alongside me. One of our texters asked, did Jason Riles and Todd Payton ever play in a game where both teams scored 30 against each other? Well, not only did they do so, but Todd Payton scored a try, and they weren't the only players obviously involved in that game, Dino. There was one other player that was heavily involved in that game back in 2005. The Dragons 40 defeating the West Tigers 32. Any memories of it, Dino?
Oh,
sorry you were on the losing end.
Yeah, I think it was at maybe it was at Cogra. I can't remember.
No, it was at Stadium Australia.
Stadium Australia, okay. Yeah, there you go. I was way off.
So, 40-32. So they had played against each other as coaches in a game where both teams had scored 30 plus. Matthew just still hovering around there with 4 minutes before we head to Lang Park. Dino, let's get your ABC Player of the Year points while we're waiting for Matthew.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3 points as out of the box one, I think. I'm going to go 3 points to the Eels winger, Brian Kelly. I thought he was outstanding from the get-go. Obviously, that kick-off carry that he had, 228 metres for the game, a try assist, a line break, and I thought he was just a great leader through the middle of the field for them. For 1 point, for 2 points, I'm going to go Junior Paulo. There was some really big defensive efforts in that second half when he came on for his second stint that were really important. And for 1 point, I'm going to go Ruben Cotter over on the North Queensland Cowboys. Just a huge workload as we normally see from the Cowboys, number 13.
Thank you, Dino. Let's get down to Matty.
Without Matuano, made a very good result. How was that at fullback? It looked like you had to do a fair bit of work today.
Yeah. We fought, we scrapped, and we made it hard for ourselves there sometimes, but we fought for each other, we scrapped, and yeah.
So, like in many games this year, I was just talking to Ronald Volkman about this as well, where you've been in the game, but you haven't been able to find the result. What do you think the difference was today?
Like I said before, how we fought for each other and we scrapped. I thought that was the difference. We kind of went try for try with them, but we stayed in it. We stuck to our process, and I just thought we fought for each other and we executed well at the end there, yeah.
And with your personal game, like fitting into fullback, it's a little bit different as you come through the grades and playing NRL. How are you finding yourself sort of settling into that position?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I get to roam around the field a bit more. Wasn't really roaming much because I was a bit tired tonight, but Moe was getting into me there. But no, I enjoyed it. I was puffing there for the first 10 minutes, but it's good to get a taste of, of this arena.
Yeah, now tell me about your try, because I have to.
Brian Kelly, he's a freaky fella. Something always happens when he touches the ball, so I had a feeling like he was going to grab her back when he called that ball, so just right spot, right time.
Is that what I have to do? Is all your teammates just going to tell me what questions to ask you? Well, mate, I'm really satisfied that you came up with a big game. That was really entertaining game for the fans on the sideline, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Upper Twaddle. Thank you, Matthew. Well done. Thank you for all your hard work down on the sideline. Thanks for your text messages as well. Dave, Mel, John and Alessa on the beach in Yeppoon. Thank you to Alan and Jay as well for your text message. We had plenty of them coming through that we weren't able to get to all of them, including from Philly Mudgee and Rowdy Andy as well. So I appreciate all of your text messages. 0467920222. Around the grounds, full-time in New South Wales in NRLW, the Roosters beating the Broncos 34-20. Second half Queensland Cup, Mackay leading Townsville 18-14. In the AFL, Brisbane's beaten the Gold Coast, and Richmond has beaten Collingwood in AFLW. First quarter in the other game in the AFLW, with Western Bulldogs leading the Gold Coast by 1 goal to no score. Here at Western Sydney Stadium. Up at Twiddle, Ronald Volkman, Talon De Silva scored a double, and Josh Adokar. One of those tries to Talon De Silva was a penalty try. Mitchell Moses kicking 2 from 5. But the Cowboys, and there was one other try there that hasn't updated yet. Jordan Samrani in the 62nd minute with Mitchell Moses kicking 4 from 7. The Cowboys, their 5 tries coming to Reid Marnie, Braden Burns, Jackson Purdue, Ruben Cotter and Tom Chester. Scott Drinkwater kicking 5 from 5, and Helam Lukey, of course, being sin bin put on report. So too was John Bateman as well. So it finished here at Western Sydney Stadium. Parramatta defeating the North Queensland Cowboys 32 points to 30. Let's get to Lang Park. It is the Warriors visiting against the Brisbane Broncos. Brett Sprigg, good evening.
Thank you, Glenn. Yes, and the Broncos have only pride to play for, and the pride extends to the cultural significance and celebration of their Indigenous round home game here on the lands of the Turrbal and Yagara people at the place we know as Lang Park, the cauldron, which is bubbling hot at the best of times. And gee, hasn't the heat been on the Broncos this year? As I mentioned in the preview, 7 straight losses at home, 11 defeats in their past 12 games overall, while the Warriors continue to look mighty impressive on the run to the finals. They knocked off the Panthers last week, and you can't tell me there won't be a wave of support for them here at Lang Park. And in fact, a little addendum from what I mentioned earlier. Someone sent me a text. I thought they said they'd sold out of Walsh bags, Reece Walsh show bags at the Ekka. It actually said Wars bags, not W-A-L-S-H Walsh. So the Warriors have a huge following here, and I did also just see some vision of the Warriors fans marching down Caxton Street. So this Saturday night stage is every bit theirs as well, as they surge into top 2 contention and all the advantages that come with that. This is NRL Saturday on ABC Sport. My name is Brett Sprigg. Former Bear, Maroon and Kangaroo Billy Moore is here. G'day, Billy.
G'day, Spriggy. Hello to our wonderful listeners. This will be a great game of football. You would have hoped it was a battle for the top 4. You would hope that the Broncos were in contention, but they're not. But I tell you, the Wars are more than in contention. They're riding high. They're sitting top 4. They've been there virtually the whole year, and they've earned their right to say we are a heavyweight this year's comp.
They'll have to win by about 40-odd and hold Brisbane to little score or no score. They could still pinch Penrith in second tonight, so it's quite remarkable. The Warriors, Billy, are ranked number 1 for possession, number 2 for set completion, and 3rd for points overall. You come to understand why they are where they are when you look at how they control those aspects of the game.
Yeah, exactly right, Spriggy. And also underpin that, they're number 2 defensively, and the 25 version of the Warriors was good. This one's great because Webster's got them defending like, I think they've defended this good. They've got the capacity now to defend their mistakes. They attack brilliantly. They're ruthless down the middle of the park. Their back 5 is great. Their halves, they've got that many halves they can't pick them all. Metcalf came back last week, won a game, so looking forward to watching also Wade Egan, his craft at dummy half is paramount to their success.
Slightly unusual that this will be the second meeting of these sides at this venue this year. They met during Magic Round, and the Wars won that 42-12. They have in fact won 3 of